A Redditor named Bunny Toes posted a really bizarre video on the Chills Narrator subreddit that's worth further analysis. She says she was deleting random videos taken by her young grandkids when she came across this strange moment in her old house, which she has since moved directly because of what you're about to see. Her grandchild innocently passes over a shadow figure standing at the foot of her bed. Bunny Toes says this happened a day before her mother-in-law's birthday, who used to live with them for 6 years and recently passed. She has no doubt that this is her mother-in-law visiting her from the other side. This could be a real ghost sighting, but you do see Bunny Toes at the beginning of this video, so it might have been her walking away. I guess I'm willing to believe her, because most people would recognize themselves on camera, and the uploader is adamant that the shadow figure in the video is simply not her. With a name like Forest of the Black Cross, this place is bound to experience some shady supernatural happenings. Captured and published to YouTube in July of 2021, the crew are filming at night in the dark and haunted forest, and what they encountered does appear to be supernatural. Something is disturbing the forest, and as they zero in on it, they spot the dreaded figure amongst the thick brush.
Cadê, gente? Ele tá descendo. Ele ali. Olha, meu Deus, cara.
The scary footage captures the face of a wild beast with glowing orange eyes, sharp features, and a gray tone. It looks unlike any other forest creature, and unlike any human figure at that. The crew rightly freaks out, and as a deep growl rumbles through the forest, they flee as fast as their legs will carry them. As they race away, howling is heard into the night.
Meu Deus! Passa! Onde é que entrada, porra?
Were they really faster than this werewolf, or did the wolf simply find other more alluring prey? If you think you're safe in your own home, think again. Posted by Call Me Ace here to the Chills Narrator subreddit, the Redditor explains, this is a video of a random guy walking up to my brother's home in Houston, Texas. The stranger flashed their flashlight through my brother's front door window and camera. The video shows a man possibly casing the place. If that is what he's doing, he isn't taking many precautions, as he's not wearing a mask of any kind to hide his identity, nor does he take any notice at first of the security camera that's caught him red-handed. If he was trying to fly under the radar, he's doing a terrible job at it. Not only does he flash a flashlight directly into the potential target's home, but he looks squarely into the security camera, capturing his headshot straight on, right before shining the flashlight into the camera's face too. Redditor Stark Burrito asks, was he pointing the flashlight into the camera to obscure himself? Bit late, buddy. Other Redditors recommended that the homeowner alert other neighbors to the incident, as well as the neighborhood watch and local authorities. It might prevent the unknown person from taking this further. While you may not have to worry about those you know entering into your home, you should definitely worry about randos. Full respect goes to YouTuber Rex Travolta for somehow obtaining this cry-out-loud creepy CCTV footage of a haunted driving school in Puchong. A man goes into the building late at night to wait for his girlfriend for a late-night meetup. Little does he know tonight's date is about to get cancelled for paranormal reasons. The computer monitor somehow turns on at the same time, and when he checks the wiring underneath, the screens briefly flash in unison. He runs out of there scared out of his mind, and that's when a ghost decides its work is done, as it shuts the door and pulls up a chair. The video looks paranormal at first, but I think it could be really good stop motion photography that you don't notice because the camera's been skipping frames the whole time. And as for the monitors, maybe the computers were already on and had some kind of screensaver on a timer to make it look like they went on at once. These two scary videos were both captured in cemeteries, published by Jesus Guadalajardo in June of 2018. A strange figure appears in the top corner of the footage early in the clip.
I got Easter eggs right there.
The figure seems to fly in and out of view very briefly, after which you can hear what sounds like high-pitched laughter. Too creepy for me. In the second video, published by Ghost Adventures of Cornwall in May of 2021, Mark captures a bright greenish-yellow orb floating amongst the tombstones.
Whoa, thank you, spirits, thank you. Thank you for showing yourself. Wow, that's amazing.
Mark is very encouraging of the orb as it appears and then leaves for a moment, only to appear again.
Wow, that's amazing, man. Look at that. He's showing himself. I feel it's a man.
One viewer in the comments says the color yellow is considered positive, so perhaps this is a good spirit. Are these spirits hanging around for their own reasons, or do they reappear to provide the living evidence of the afterlife? Costa Rica is full of many beautiful sights. Under your pillow is not one of them.
Scorpion on my pillow.
Is it alive?
I'd say it's very much still alive. A gigantic stinger is curled high above at the ready. I don't know if he was sleeping under this terrifying creature all night, but I think he might have been. If so, he's really lucky he never fluffed the pillow. Seriously though, I really want to know what kind of scorpion this is, and how risky this event really was. This video of the Ishima Hoyashi Bridge in Japan looks like one of the scariest places in the world to drive over, and has the internet freaking out. It resembles a terrifying roller coaster more than a bridge, but I found a video of someone going over it, and while the ride is creepy, it's probably not as bad as you thought. I just wanted to show what going over this bridge is really like, since the video went viral not too long ago. The reason why the bridge is built like this is to give extra room for boats to go under. It makes sense, but doesn't really make it any less scary, especially if you already have a fear of bridges to begin with. Two unexplained videos have captured a strange sighting of a humanoid figure floating over Phoenix, Arizona. Anyone know what that is? Writes one of them in a Snapchat video posted on March of 2020. So far, no one has any idea. The uploader goes on to explain that they were in their backyard when a mysterious figure silently floated over them, an all-black outline with what they describe as wings in the middle. While I do see what he's talking about, I doubt they are wings because they are not moving. It looks more like a jetpack or something, and yet I don't see any exhaust, so it's probably not that either. An experimental drone or a weather balloon would be my next guess, and if it's not that, then maybe it's a kite shaped like a person. With that said, it's been over a year, and the strange sky sighting videos over Phoenix are still without explanation. The mystery is unsolved. You think winter roads are bad, and you've probably never ridden your bike here. This incident occurred in India in 2018. The uploader explains that it was his third day of riding from Indore to Pangong Lake, and he had just partnered with another rider who joined him on his solo trip. He writes that the pass was slippery that day and was loaded with trucks. The result is a close call his friend met with, which he caught on camera. The footage shows the pair of bikers on a narrow mountain road with nothing but a cliff edge and a 100+ foot fall to their right. In front of them is a truck transporting heavy metal poles. As they follow quite closely behind this truck, it looks as though his friend is going to attempt to overtake the vehicle on the cliffside with little to no shoulder, but that attempt comes to a quick end when his heavy bike with all his belongings piled onto the back loses traction on the slushy ground. It falls onto its side dangerously near the cliff edge. If he'd been even a foot nearer the edge, he would have been a goner. As fate would have it, his life was spared that day, and as Banda writes, hopefully this teaches other riders to ride safe, live long. Would you take something that turned you into a zombie? Please don't do it because it's a horrible idea. In October of 2017, a number of sightings were reported in Brazil in which humans were behaving monstrously, with some running their heads into windshields and others flailing their arms and screaming nonsense as if they were possessed. This video clip shows what a nightmare this can be.
Love you.
He pounds the windshield as well before taking a running start at it with his head. With his arms outstretched, the boy screams into the ethers, while one guy outside holds an arm out, seemingly trying to calm him. The boy continues to scream in place before trying to smash his way into the bus again. This goes on for several minutes. Whatever this man has taken to be acting this way, just remember, it's never a good idea to do the same. This video follows a Filipino ghost hunter who's exploring an abandoned hospital solo. At around 4 minutes in, as he's climbing some stairs, he hears high-pitched shouting. The Redditor who submitted this suggests its scream is that of either a child or a woman. The ghost hunter proceeds to explore the entire floor. All the while, you can hear the screeching in the background.
Narinig akong bata.
As he nears one end of the floor, traffic is heard roaring out the window. Once silence has fallen again, the screaming can be distantly heard, and then at 7:15 very clearly and nearer. The sound is terrifying, but we never find the source. What do you think it could be? My best guess is something paranormal. Legend has it this former asylum is haunted, and this video appears to be proof of it, posted by Zombie Platypus to the Ghosts subreddit. The Redditor says this was filmed in what used to be the living quarters at a mental institution called CSUCI. The quarters are now a modern dorm room. The clip shows a plate of shrimp moving across the counter on its own for more than half a minute. Its movement is jarring, as if it's being nudged around the counter every so often. Zombie Platypus explains that they started filming when one of them saw a quick but long movement that made them scream. She says no magnets or strings were used, and the dishwasher wasn't on. Most commenters agree with Redditor DieFitH, who suggests this may not be paranormal activity at all. He writes, if the bottom of the plate has a lip, and it is wet, causing a nice seal, and you put hot food on the plate, and if the counter is ever so slanted, it can cause the plate to move, the steam causing a hovercraft-like effect. However, the Redditor says that when they tried to recreate the situation under the exact same conditions, they never could get it to move like that. A few Redditors in the comments don't have an answer for the Redditor, but having visited the campus, acknowledged that the place made them uncomfortable, and gave them the heebie-jeebies. Is it just the creepy history of the former institute that pushes us towards a paranormal explanation, or are former patients just hungry? A fisherman's chronicles gets a catch while kayaking in the San Francisco Bay, but you'll never guess what he's caught on camera, or rather, what's caught him.
Oh my, that's a fish on. That's a fish on. Oh my, this is a big fish on. I got a big fish on. Oh, this is a halibut. It's for sure a keeper.
He thinks he's hooked a halibut, but it's much worse than that. A stingray. Its whipping tail is like a serrated needle that will mess you up in seconds flat. He has to get the hook out of its mouth fast while avoiding the tail.
Wow, look at, got a good view of that. This guy's trying to sting me.
Nothing new for him. He's caught hundreds of them before, but I guess everyone can make a mistake. The tail connects and a barbed wire feeling races up his arm. Now he has to get the hook out with the ray in his lap, and he's lucky it doesn't take a chunk out of his thigh here at 7 minutes and 17 seconds. They do have razor sharp teeth. He gets to a hospital as fast as he can, and this is the end result.
Well, I had to row like half a mile back to the kayak launch,
with a stingray tail like sticking out of my arm.
It's healed up nicely since, and he doesn't have any nerve damage to speak of, but it's not something I would ever want to go through, and I hope he never does again. He's lucky it wasn't higher up and nicked an artery. Also, I just wanted to commend him for not getting angry at the stingray for defending itself. He focuses on getting the hook out of the stingray first before getting help for himself.
I still want to release this guy as fast as possible.
I think everyone's first instinct is to throw it back into the water, so this must have taken an incredible amount of self-restraint. On February 5th, 2002, Robert Pickton was taken into custody by a Vancouver police task force who had found personal items on his pig farm from a woman who had disappeared. There were no other clues aside from the missing belongings, such as a prescription inhaler and other items. In other words, enough evidence to hold him, but not enough for a solid conviction. Prosecutors needed more evidence, so on February 23, 2002, they sent one of their best undercover officers to pose as an inmate to try to get Robert to confess his actions. Robert hadn't had a friend in a long time, and was more than willing to swap stories with what he thought was a fellow like-minded psycho. What he revealed was absolutely horrifying. The undercover officer leads the conversation by saying the ocean is the best way to get rid of the passed away. Roberts is quick to correct him.
I find the best way to dispose of something is taking the ocean. It ain't good enough.
With CCTV cameras rolling overhead, the undercover officer gets Robert Pickton to admit something he had not said to the detective in years. The reason they weren't able to find any of the passed away was because he had put them through meat processing equipment and most likely fed them to his pigs. When the undercover agent tries to get him to say more about what he's done, Robert gives us a glimpse into what a person like him thinks of the people whose lives he's taken. What's most terrifying of all about this is how they were nothing more to him than a number. He sees no individuality, nothing to make them human or set them apart. They are all the same to him, a number that he wants to make even for his own selfish satisfaction. Robert Pickton might have gotten away with all 50 acts, if not for the self-incriminating testimony, which was used against him. On December 11th, 2007, he was sentenced to life behind bars. He decided not to make a statement upon being sentenced. I guess he felt like he had already said enough. Seva's Solutions is a health and lifestyle YouTube channel with a video that's going to creep out anyone eating an apple right now. For those of you who don't know, grocery stores actually will cover apples in literal wax to make them look shiny and therefore more appealing to buy. That means every time you bite into an apple, you're potentially eating wax. This YouTuber has created a method of getting the store wax off, and wait until you see what it looks like at the end. First, she jabs an apple and runs lemon juice around the outside to loosen the wax bond. After that, she pours boiling hot water over the apple to fully remove the substance. After a few minutes of turning and pouring, she is finally finished.
So as you can see, this is all of the just waxy stuff that came off of the apple. It's pretty gross when you think about that that's what you consume when you just think of eating a nice healthy apple.
This sludge at the bottom of the bowl is what the wax looks like once it comes off. Pretty gross, huh? It's definitely not something I want to eat. This video made me curious about organic apples, so I did some research, and yes, they have wax on them too. Apparently the wax has been made out of a special organic substance, but I would rather they not do this at all. Someone's life was taken here, and a shadow person remains. Is it the person who passed, or the person who ended their life? Published in December of 2021, Drana and Mike's paranormal adventures entered this house and got more than they bargained for. While exploring the home, the spirit speaks to them. The voice sounds like it's whispering, "Help me out." As they continue to communicate with the spirits in the darkness, Drena feels something touch her on the shoulder.
Do you know any of our names?
Did you just touch me on my shoulder?
Later, in another room, Drena and Mike are talking with someone off camera, and the camera scans from one side of the room to the other. This is when you see it.
On the throat.
Where they're also in the light filters. Yeah.
In the next room over, the shadow appears. It looks like it's ducking behind the door, and it disappears in an instant. Is there a lost soul in this haunted home? And if so, who does it belong to? I know I wouldn't go back there after seeing this, but I do really think this place needs further investigation. Visit Louisiana and you might just run into a gator or two, or maybe 1,000. Published in January of 2011, Marvin Carter writes, "This is something you just don't see every day." Carter says this video was sent to him from the mouth of the Mississippi by one of his friends. What you're about to see will make your skin crawl. At first, the river looks normal with dozens of rocks jutting out of it, but when the camera zooms in, you realize those aren't rocks. Then, even more horrifyingly, this little speedboat starts its journey through the sea of alligators. They're all moving about, but the good news is, it looks like they're just trying to get out of the way, not start trouble. While many in the comments agree that this is terrifying, most also suggest that gators generally don't mess with you. Still, this scary video desperately needs an explanation, and commenter Canoeing the Edge of the World seems to have one. He writes, "For some reason, alligators just decide every once in a while to have a little get-together, and they bring the whole family. I think I'll skip this reunion." If you hold a ceremony in the house of a known witch, you can expect exactly what's about to happen in this video. Published in February of 2022 by the channel Paranormal Point, evil came out of a mirror when this paranormal investigator prompted it to. He sees a shadow move in the mirror. Is someone in the room with him? Upon his arrival, he found these realistic candles already set up. He believes the witch was performing her ceremonies in front of this mirror. After he lights the candles, the nearby stool starts to take on a life of its own. But the real question is, what is living in this mirror? Is it a demon? As the spirit box communicates,
Кто тебя забрал? when the man stands in front of the mirror, he feels someone behind him. I'd wager it's the shadow figure we saw earlier in the corner. A YouTuber named Sanjay Key Angel is traveling the countryside in India when he comes across a phantom figure dressed in an all-white shroud that completely covers its face. It pays them absolutely no attention as it crosses the road with no lantern in hand. Moments ago it was wandering in complete darkness, yet it moves as though it had somewhere else to be. How it's able to find its bearings in total darkness, with its face covered, is beyond me. Listen to this part and translate if you speak the language, so that we all know what they were thinking at the time. Also tell me whether or not they sound like they are really scared. Also tell me whether or not they sound like they really are scared, or just acting. A dad and a daughter are all smiles as they board an elevator. The ride is smooth and they look at themselves in the mirror for about 30 seconds, completely unaware of how unsafe they actually are. Minutes later, the empty elevator is ripping past floors with enough speed to shake the entire carriage. The door is slightly open and nothing is working properly as the lift slams into the roof hard enough to dislodge panels and light fixtures. Thankfully, no passengers were on board, but had the two from earlier still been inside, it would have been a daddy-daughter demise for certain. I can only wonder how many times something like this has almost happened to you or me without realizing. A YouTuber named Connor Does Adventure goes exploring a sewer tunnel that's been abandoned in the middle of the desert. They're kind of nervous but also in the mood to see something crazy. Little do they know what horrors are about to get caught on camera. It's a long walk to get to the old pipe and they keep stopping because they think they hear something.
It's funny. Know why you're scaring us.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Okay, it's not funny.
That sounds like it could be a frog to me, but maybe not based on what they see next.
What? Dude. Oh. Okay. We're on. Dude, we gotta go!
An extra creepy creature slowly stands upright in a strange pose that looks vaguely human.
Dude. Stupid, why would you steal me? We gotta go!
It chases them for a while on all fours, then marches straight towards them.
Okay, come on. He's coming. Dude, he's coming.
This is beyond creepy, but it's probably one of their friends in an outfit.
Do you think he can get past these gates right here? Oh yeah, dude, look, there's an entrance right there. That's how we... Oh shoot. Ready? Go! Oh my gosh!
After all, stopping a second time to turn around and record some more doesn't seem realistic. I think most people would be out of there and never look back. Who's there? Your worst nightmare. Posted by Deadhead Gillies to the Ghosts subreddit. The Redditor says there's something knocking in the walls, and we don't have to take her word for it, because she has video proof. It sounds like someone is knocking insistently at the door, only there's no one there. She says this has continued for 2 months. She's not the only one to have had such an experience. Redditor Ritual Maniac writes in the comments that the same knocking pattern occurred at a house she once lived in, along with other paranormal happenings like voices, doors opening, running, etc. When they moved, everything, including the nightmares and unexplainable bad feelings, all vanished. The Redditor says this knocking wasn't heard initially and just started happening randomly as of late. At one point, when her boyfriend lived there, he even heard laughing and whispering. The Redditor said after sending the videos to her grandmother, a pastor was supposed to come and visit, but of course an ongoing event began earlier this year and prevented that. Some in the comments think it's the pipes, others say it's likely a pesky animal, but myself and many others are leaning towards the paranormal. Game of Onions writes, let him in already. Must be cramped in there, but I wouldn't take that advice. Just by looking at the exterior of this house, you can tell it's clearly haunted. Published by Han Kardashler, these 3 paranormal investigators are doing a ritual just to make sure. Circling a small table with candles lit on top, the men are seen grasping the table and chanting a ritual, while noises are heard around them. Then outside they see this. A pale face in the window moves away. Back inside, the men are chanting around the table again, when a wheeled chair rolls into view. One of the men seems to be shocked by something unexplained and without a word walks away. The others follow him, uncertain of where he went.
They find him outside standing at a distance in the darkness. He is suddenly snatched by someone and pulled from view. They find him in a strange stick hut and appear to talk him into normalcy. But what of the snatcher? Was this the work of the mad face in the window? I think so. A flaming torch in the forest revealed this group was not alone. The uploader writes that these friends were having some drinks in the woods when two of the young women saw a mysterious creature watching them. In the clip, the group is enveloped in darkness. That is until one of them tosses a flaming torch toward a tree. It lights the brush at the base of the tree, and it also lights this creature hiding behind it. The extraterrestrial-looking figure is crouched low at the stump of the tree, but its large cranium and eyes briefly appear. You can see it back away for a moment behind the tree, and then as the camera moves in closer, its hands extend long, spindly fingers. What is watching them? It looks like something out of this world. Back in 1993, this TikToker's father took a video on a sharp camcorder. She thinks he captured a ghost. Posted on TikTok by Olivia Bishop, the mysterious video shows a child at play while her parents watch.
For all those Gen Zs out there, this is a camcorder. We'd set it up, press record, and go about our day. I don't know why, it was just a 90s thing. And just so you guys know, we've had a ghost in every house that we've lived in, so that's why I found this very intriguing. Go ahead and watch that pumpkin in the left-hand corner, and let me know what you think.
A small plastic pumpkin sits at the end of a slide near the camcorder. After a moment, it rolls across the floor on its own for no discernible reason. Some in the comments note that the baby looks over at the pumpkin at the exact moment, like she senses something is there. Olivia claims to have had a ghost in every house they've lived in. Is this one of them? It appears that's the case. I Thought All Dogs Go to Heaven, published by Awkwardly Quiet Gamers in April of 2018. This security footage shows a dark but busy sidewalk at around 2 in the morning. A woman is seen standing to the left. A dog or cat comes into view on the right, as does another lady. They both pass by in the night. That's when the ghost dog comes into frame. Unlike the last animal's starker image, this one is slightly blurred and transparent. It runs along the sidewalk and then disappears out of sight. Meanwhile, the lady is making strange moves along the sidewalk. What is going on here? Is this ghost dog playing one last game of fetch with its owner? I hope that's the case. Redditor asserted skirted motion-activated cameras detected motion in the middle of the night, but it isn't something I've ever seen before. Keep an eye on the bottom of the garage door. Here it is again, more slowly. Something appears to slip beneath the garage door, but it looks like a shadow. My guess would be that this is an unknown shadow entity. The way the shadow reaches out is even tentacle-like. What do you think it is? Next time you're confronted by voices in a haunted house, you should probably just skip town. Redditor Alex_paranormal TV posted the scary paranormal investigation to the Chills Narrator subreddit. It was originally posted on YouTube in February of 2020. The house being explored is a Cole Harbour house in London. As Alex Paranormal explains, we investigate the Cold Harbour house that no one wants to live in because of the extreme activity and what resides inside the Shadow Man.
What the f*** on earth? Yeah. What the fire on earth? Yeah.
The exploration turns up loads of paranormal activity. At 8:53 in the video, Alex mumbles something as they're exploring, to which a disembodied voice answers, yeah. A little later, after setting up the spirit box, it either moves or falls over on its own at 16 minutes 7 seconds.
Whoa, it's falling through stuff, mate. Did you just knock that?
What? Oh, mate.
Just knock the light on the dark. Who are you?
A short time after, at 16 minutes 55 seconds, an evil laugh occurs as the team attempts to speak with the spirits.
Is this your room?
Where are you?
The laughter occurs again at around 22 minutes 9 seconds. And at 22 minutes 49 seconds, a grunt can be heard.
You just grunt then. What was that? Was that you?
As they're talking about the grunt, a very audible knock sounds on the adjacent door at 23 minutes 35 seconds. They continue to explore the haunted house. While they're in a hallway, about to enter another room, a door slams at 26 minutes 55 seconds.
Oh, snaps about you. Is that you?
No.
Continuing in their exploration after a while, they discover an old Tonka truck in a room. When one guy asks if that's an old Tonka toy, a disembodied voice at 31 minutes 52 seconds answers yeah.
Look at that. That's an old Tonka toy, isn't it?
What else?
A number of other disembodied voices are noted throughout the video, as if the house was whispering a secret to them, if only they'd just listen. What was it trying to tell them, and what would you do in a house that talks to you? I'd just move out. The Haunted Side is a ghost hunting channel in Reno, Nevada, led by Patrick McCreary, a paranormal investigator who has been experiencing ghost sightings since the age of 9, and he likes exploring abandoned places where something has gone wrong in the past. Tonight, he and his fellow ghost hunter, Jason Spencer, will explore the Truckee House, a creepy and cursed place haunted by the spirits of a mother, father, and 3 children, ever since they were slain by a random madman sometime in the 1940s. Within minutes, the Haunted Side detects supernatural activity on their equipment. The paranormal energy is so strong that the ghost family can finish his sentence.
We don't mean you any harm. If somebody came in here and hurt my throat, you hear that?
Yeah.
A weak and weary ghost voice must belong to the father. His EVP responses always make sense, like here when they ask him to read some graffiti on the wall.
What does that say? Can you tell us what that says?
What was that? That was creepy.
On the top floor is a small rotten room that is mostly withered away from the elements. The scary disembodied voice of the father follows, hopeless as ever as it advises them not to walk across the weak floor.
Be very careful.
Is this safe for me to do this? No.
They walk around the perimeter of the house instead for more paranormal evidence, and sure enough, the 2 explorers hear more possible ghost noises.
Did you hear that?
The ghost hunter is understandably a little too creeped out to talk.
A young sounding, like almost cry. Like, but like young.
But in other words, it's a little ghost girl crying from the nearby haunted woods.
Did you hear that?
A few minutes later, they record this ghost sighting on video as the hand of a child pulls away from them at the last moment, a hand that's reaching out from the basement window. Although this could be the tail of a rat as it scurries away. With that said, some people claim to see a scary face looking not too far from where the ghost hand was sighted. I think I see it, but then again it kind of looks like a rock in the grass, so who knows? The exploration continues inside. Their paranormal tracking equipment is able to pick out the wireframe of Jason, which proves it works, and then it detects a second mysterious figure pressed up against a support column, like it's hiding from them. Soon the scary moment goes from a ghost sighting to actual paranormal contact.
The part right now, is this floor.
Yeah,
Are you see into the basement?
Are you down in the basement?
Both ghost sightings cease when Jason can no longer take the cold and has to walk away.
The question is whether or not this was a friendly gesture or a more serious encounter, maybe even an attempt at demonic possession. Wanda Chance is riding down the road when she sees a stranger who looks out of place. He is wearing a floor-length black cloak and holds his hands in front of him, possibly making a symbol. Wanda is suspicious of him and they drive by again. I think he looks like he might just be a regular teenager, sporting a gothic clothing style and look, but Wanda notices a long and pointy ear at 1 minute and 14 seconds and questions if he is really a person at all. What do you think about this sighting? Sure, it's strange, but is this just a person with an uncommon fashion style for the area, or a visitor from somewhere far off trying their best to fit in? On the Chills Narrator subreddit, a user named Dope Island Skate continues to post all the weird things caught on camera while living in his haunted home. This time he's looking at his living room on CCTV video when creepy stuff starts happening once again on his home security system. A noise in the hallway makes him turn around. A weirdly shaped small figure is caught on camera, but he must not see it in real life because he doesn't say anything. There is no doubt that the light is moving by itself at 1 minute before he hits the light switch. He does a full 360 around it, not believing his eyes, and you can clearly see nothing is attached. Almost everyone who watched this video on the Chills subreddit thought it was creepy and real, and I don't really have a counter explanation as to how it could be faked. Nothing about this mysterious video is easy to explain, and that's why I think it might actually be real. Hopefully Dope Island Skate continues to keep us updated, unless he decides to move out of his haunted house first, which I would completely understand. This dashcam video was taken in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and it shows a tiny bipedal creature scurry across the road, not even as tall as the concrete barrier on the right. It looks pretty good until you look down at the feet and notice that it's gliding across the road and not taking real steps. So in my opinion, I think it might be computer animation. What do you think? A ghost hunter named Zaphod Bebley Brox is at the Hill House Manor in Gainesville, Texas. When they get activity on their equipment, the rules of communication are 1 blink for yes and 2 blinks for no, but this spirit presses no many times over when asked if it is an older man.
Are you the male that just came back in here?
No, it's a little girl.
His partner thinks it must be one of the 2 children spirits known to roam this floor, and when they ask if it wants to play, first he uses the equipment to say no, and then he uses its actual voice. It even answers like a child, waiting until the adult says no before repeating him in a small sad voice.
Are you the little girl? Would you like to play jacks? Can you say yes or no?
Balls?
No.
Judging by how she is in no mood to play, I'd say something bad must have happened to them. Something that's keeping them trapped with no release forever. 2 women get on an elevator and strike up a friendly conversation with each other. They shuffle around a lot, and you can tell nothing is occupying the area behind them. Soon they get off the elevator and leave behind a child who is glowing bright white. The otherworldly aura looks like it was probably edited using special software. The way the child looks straight down is a somewhat outdated horror movie cliche. Both of these indicate that this video is most likely fake, but there's something about it that makes me feel it could be real. So I'd like to get the final confirmation from you. Zake Nikoff is exploring the Bower House, an old farmhouse in West Virginia, when he catches something of interest leaning out the window. This gray specter watches over them from afar. If you still don't see it, it's looking to the left, and the lighter colored area at the bottom is its right shoulder. Don't worry, if it's too hard to see, Zake didn't see it at first either. His camera passes right over it and doesn't notice until they were already far away.
I think it looks like it could be the reflection of a cloud, but at the same time I do agree it looks like it could be the spirit of a person watching them enter, and if it is, it doesn't seem pleased. Jinn are intelligent spirits from Arabian mythology that have the mysterious ability to possess humans. And according to this video, they take that mysterious ability to the next level, which is apparently ninja based. Published to YouTube by Deranged Sajib in September of 2020, the scary possession has this man's limbs into something like a crab.
Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum. Aku datang play ke?
The man is captured on video doing a creepy crab walk backwards and forwards across the floor as a holy man stands over him, attempting to exorcise him of the jinn. The man keeps low to the ground, smacking his palms to the floor with his fingers bent upwards. He speaks to the holy man in a haunting, possessed rasp.
Siapa? Kenapa? Saya. Berapa? Oh, 2 tahunan. Sebelum di sini di mana kamu adanya?
Although the clip cuts out before we can see whether the man was freed of his possession, many in the comments note that the spirit who possessed him seemed like a ninja jinn.
Oh, berarti kalau kayak gitu kamu jahat. Kamu berurusan sama saya kalau jahat. Hah? Sekarang jadi urusan saya.
Well, I don't know about that. If it was the case though, the man is acquiring these skills, even if only via a spirit taking over his body. 9 out of 10 people do not immediately notice what's wrong with this handshake, so allow me to show you where to look. Trust me, you'll be sorry that I did.
Give me your hand.
I like cake, I just don't like the icing on it. That's my main.
This is someone's right hand, and yet they're on the left side. Also, look at their fingernails. They're facing the wrong way. How can this be? The answer isn't pretty. The condition is called hypermobility. Though the phrase double-jointed is commonly used, it's mostly genetic, meaning you are either born with this unusually large range of movement or not. Only 20% of people have it, though typically not to this degree, and there's no way for the rest of us to gain this talent, if you want to call it that, so don't even try to practice. Like most people, watching this video makes me feel like my fingers are going to fall off. Tell me if you would be able to shake the hand of someone with hypermobility while they were doing this. I mean, it's creepy, but also kind of cool.
You see it?
Yeah. What is that?
Wait. Stop you.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Something strange is in the woods. Nathan Arnold later writes of the unknown creature he's caught on camera. He and his son both saw it and managed to record video evidence for us to look over. Fortunately for their safety, but unfortunate for my analysis, is their distance from the figure. The creepy video is taken far away, so I don't know if this video's a creature, a ghost sighting, or not real at all. The way he and his son both stare in amazement and then run away when the mysterious figure turns in his direction seems like a real enough reaction and not made up. At 26 seconds, it almost looks like somebody wearing a black robe, like a witch or something. The possibilities are endless and none of them are good. The point is, I wouldn't be going back into those woods anytime soon if I were them. It's too scary to handle. Ghost hunting YouTube channel in Russia called Dark Ghost Paranormal says they've caught real video evidence of poltergeist activity on camera while exploring an abandoned house that's haunted. After leaving cameras upstairs to record video evidence, Dark Ghost Paranormal goes exploring in the basement to investigate. For any poltergeist activity, the entrance to the basement has been boarded up like somebody really didn't want anyone to get in, or maybe they were trying to prevent something from getting out, something paranormal. He gets a creepy feeling down here. The basement looks completely demolished, stuff thrown everywhere, and so he goes back upstairs. Exploring the haunted basement must have set something free, because it isn't long before the poltergeist is coming to investigate. These ghost hunters. Something scary happens behind him. The voice of a little ghost girl comes from a dresser, one that just so happens to be a child's height and is no doubt possessed by the ghost of one. The ghost hunter examines the area for a little bit, and just when he's about to wrap up the paranormal investigation, the scary poltergeist activity picks up again. This angle gives us a better look at how close the dresser is to the wall, way too close for someone to have been hiding behind it. The heavy object is moving by itself, or from a ghost to be more precise, and so he leaves the abandoned house to further rot. This old house is allegedly haunted by the angry spirit of a previous inhabitant. Watch what happens in the dark basement shortly after a ghost hunter named Lylil Show sets up a camera and leaves. As soon as the lights turn off and the door shuts, an abnormal amount of orbs dance all around the camera, which then tips over. I think this is more than a coincidence because it happens within 5 seconds of his exit. Something down there obviously doesn't want to be filmed. The angry spirit resists all attempts to communicate. Here it swats an electrometer used to detect paranormal disturbances in the air. Between this and the camera falling over, I think the spirit wants to be left alone, and I think it's probably best to respect its privacy before it gets any more insistent. YouTuber Memoria Sobrenatural INC believes they were guided to this location by something paranormal, and maybe that's true, but it doesn't seem to want to let him in.
Opa! Cara, que é isso, mano? Cara, que é isso?
At first, it seems like something might just be pushed up against the door blocking it, but then you see movement. Watch the crack in the doorway.
Olha isso, cara. Dá uma olhada.
Whatever's inside doesn't seem human.
Cara, você é louco? Eu juro que eu achei que eu tinha visto o demônio aqui agora, na hora que eu fui abrir a porta. Cara, meu coração foi a mil aqui, ó. Bom, pessoal, eu acho...
Phew, it's just a bull. Or is it? I think this horned beast is more demon than it appears. So many YouTube videos, so little time. Many videos published to YouTube never even see the light of day. Posted in September of 2019, this creepy little video was discovered on the French website PetitTube. For those who don't know what PetitTube is, it randomly lands on YouTube videos with low viewership. Some have no views at all, others usually under 100 views. The short clip appears like nothing more but a random drive down a dark road at night with a slightly eerie flickering streetlight up ahead. The glow is strobing out, lighting up the trees in the distance with a haunted house effect. The driver turns off his headlights to provide the viewer an even creepier shot of the strobe streetlight. Music plays in the background. A feeling of foreboding creeps in, as it should. Wait until the end of the video. You won't be disappointed. Now that is bizarre. This video shows evidence of the terrifying unknown, as strange lights were captured in the Tokyo sky on June 26, 2020. Some suggest the lights are not those of unidentified flying devices, but rather of Starlink, SpaceX's satellite constellation, which is being built with the aim to provide nearly worldwide internet access by 2022. These low Earth orbit satellites are mass-produced and work with ground transceivers. Could that be nothing but a project by Elon Musk? Others suggest it's simply air traffic approaching the airport. Redditor Bacon for Life writes, "Well, it is spooky when there's a bit of a traffic jam to come into the airport. Aircraft turn their landing lights on quite high and far out so that it's easy for the tower to identify each of them. Still a good spooky video though. Do you agree with these assertions? Or is this just another thing they don't want us to see? While visiting Old Smoky Mountain Cemetery, YouTube crew the G-Team Paranormal are quickly met with paranormal activity. Straight away they get a reading on their paranormal device.
Right there. Wow. This is incredible.
And that reading becomes more distinct.
Look.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Yep.
him. You see him?
I see that. Almost looks like a third person.
The spirits seem to be congregating next to their headstones.
Someone's standing next to the headstone.
Right next to the headstone, yes.
Leaning on it or something.
Although the camera doesn't pick it up clearly, the ladies hear footsteps approaching.
She hears footsteps crunching. Oh, but ain't a bear coming. Ooh. I did.
Then, while in their vehicle, the car's reverse sensor is triggered, but there's no one behind them.
What?
What the hell?
I don't know. What is going on? It's sensing something behind us.
No.
There's a mysterious whisper in the darkness here, though. And before they know it, they've picked up a hitchhiking spirit.
Made me want to come here. Oh, why did all my just fall? My up here on my visor just kind of flew down. What the hell?
Patty even seems to spot one on the road.
Whoa, I'm not even gonna back up. There was somebody standing back there in a white shirt. I'm not even kidding you. I'm not gonna back up, guys. I can't.
I didn't see anything, but something strange is definitely going on here. Whether a spirit has attached or not is anyone's guess. Does this internet cafe have some unwanted customers? Redditor Juice173 thinks it does. He explains that he works in pest control, and this internet cafe was one of his clients. After seeing this footage, the owner insisted that he still has rats. Here is the surveillance video. Here's a clip from another angle. It's strange to me that something falls off of the shelf or is pushed right before the entire thing breaks. I would say it's just a matter of shoddy workmanship rather than something paranormal if it wasn't for that. But this makes me think that there's something more complex going on here, and I see no rat. A woman is practicing a presentation while her friend films, but they both become distracted by the poltergeist in the room. TikToker Real Scary Video shares this footage.
1, 2, 3, go. Okay na? Now that I have introduced myself to the patient, verified the client's... Now that I have introduced myself to the patient, explain the procedure.
First, the light flickers.
Verify the client's identity and provide...
Ano ito?
Sige na.
Then something disturbs the closet.
Now that I have introduced myself to the patient...
While we can't see what made the noise, I'm pretty sure whatever it was lost its patience. Talk about a non-supportive ghost.
Ano ito?
Sige na. 1, 2, 3, go. Now that I have introduced myself to the patient...
YouTuber Hey Charmaine began posting about her experiences in her home. As her story unfolds, so does a terrifying truth shared by YouTube channel The Grave Digger. The scary video shows how Charmaine's horror story escalated. It all started with this strange object she found.
I got a pack of Pepperdine like 10 years ago, but it's modeled after the Bodhidharma, and I don't usually take it out.
After setting up security cameras in her room, she captured things moving unexpectedly.
A few days later, while the dog was sitting for her friend, this happens.
Why are you whining, baby? Cooper, what are you staring at? There's nothing in the hallway.
Later, she captured a figure watching her home in the darkness of night and then heard something inside.
What is you doing?
After deciding to go stay at her parents' house for a while, things escalated. Watch the doorway behind Charmaine.
It would have been really nice not to let me stay there and...
What was that thing?
Oh my god.
I'm not sure what this figure is, but it seems to be related to the mysterious object that Charmaine found. With all these strange events unfolding, Charmaine has lasted a lot longer here than I would have. Sometimes ghosts are just forewarning you about what's around the corner. YouTuber Paranormal Voyages shares this freaky short in which he's speaking to a spirit through a spirit box.
I just seen a shadow. Who's that? Was that you? Whoa!
The spirit literally tells him, "The bat's in," and a moment later...
Whoa!
Well, the bat's in. It feels pretty hard to be a skeptic after that series of events. What would you do if your daughter's imaginary friend was a demon? Originally posted by TikToker Leo Lords 15, this video was shared by YouTube channel Blah Blah and is now trending in the Arabic-speaking YouTube community. The TikToker explains that her daughter has been communicating with someone ever since they moved into this old house.
Hey, so we are just moving in. Literally, it's such a mess. I'm sorry about it. My daughter has been talking to an imaginary friend.
After letting it run, this is what she found.
It feels so funny. What do you know story? Do you want to play?
While talking with her stuffed animals and or her imaginary friend, the closet door opens on its own. A strange growling noise is heard. The girl seems to hear it too and takes it as her cue to leave. Imaginary friends will always be creepy, but I'm not sold on the growling noises. It sounds like it's edited in. In fact, it sounds less like growling and more like someone drinking from a straw. What do you think? Is this girl's imaginary friend a demonic creature? Or is this a sound effect? What is this being lurking in the forest? YouTuber Fish On Fish Out returned to his favorite fishing spot with the boys when he spotted this. What was that? I'm not sure what that is. Could it be pareidolia? Maybe, but I think it's a demon lurking, angry that they took his favorite fishing hole. This place is terrifying. YouTuber Terror Alex Streamo encountered tons of paranormal activity at this haunted playground. First, they hear children's voices in the darkness, and then they see a swing swinging on its own.
Ay, mira, hijo. Ay, ¿qué pasó, pa? Mira.
Next, another childlike voice is heard.
No manches. Oye, no manches.
Then something bangs against the roof above.
Whoa. Just let him please eat it. Yeah,
And the children's voices are heard again.
Pues es muy lógico, ¿no? O sea, no está haciendo bastante aire como para que se esté moviendo de esa manera.
No, pues no está haciendo aire, hijo.
And again here.
Y mira, ahorita está como si nada.
Finally, they capture something visible on camera. Later, another figure is moving through the tall brush.
Ya ves. Algo va pasando, ¿ya viste?
I'm not sure if the figure is a child, but the voices throughout the video definitely sound like it. Is this a case of the urban legend of black-eyed children? I wouldn't get near enough to find out. The Mulberry Rings in Dorchester, UK have a terrible history. YouTube team CVS Paranormal investigates this haunted place, and what they hear is disturbing.
We're not here to hurt you. We just want to communicate with you. You could do something.
To me, it sounded like a mix of voices and pigs grunting in the darkness. Shortly after, they hear footsteps in the grass nearby.
Oh, should.
Then this creepy moan is heard.
If you are walking, did you hear that?
As one of the team feels something touch her head, children's laughter is heard in the background.
It's not like someone just touched my head.
They hear a rustling in the trees that they don't believe is the wind.
That comes from over there just now. In the trees.
Are you over by the trees? Hear it?
It does look like there's a breeze though, and it could just be an animal settling, but this next noise does not sound natural.
What was that? I don't know.
And then again they hear footsteps.
What? Yeah.
Is something stalking them in the darkness? The humming they hear suggests so.
Oh, it's really going now.
While I don't hear the humming sound in the end myself, I can hear all of the other unsettling noises in this clip. To me, the most disturbing part was the pig grunting and voices heard in the very beginning.
We're not here to hurt you. We just want to communicate with you. You could do something.
Open up.
What do you think? YouTube team Ozark Paranormal Project sets up a stationary camera in this haunted room. While the group is all hanging out in the hallway, notice that their shadows cast from a light in the next room to the upper wall.
I walked it on the park.
And there's a corner right in my ring.
But later, when no one's there, strange lights are cast on the room's walls. What was that? Watch above the open door.
We got nothing.
It almost looks like fairy dust. It doesn't appear the same as the other light sources falling in the room. But is it paranormal? I think it's more likely a camera glitch of some kind, but I've never seen one so bizarre. Shadows can be tricky things. Sometimes they're natural. Other times they lean more towards the paranormal. This one seems to be the latter.
posted on Reddit by user Ukire. The Redditor writes that he still has goosebumps after receiving this clip. Some in the comments admitted to being upset with yet another orb post, but then, after watching it all the way through, their yearning for nightmare fuel was rewarded, although it just looks like the still image of a cell. Wait for it, and wait for it, and wait for it some more, and you just might be rewarded too. The Redditor wrote that his friend works the night shift here at this institution in a former police station. The room where this is filmed is not in current use, but in the past was a place where people checked out of custody. Some in the comments say the video looks legit, others pointed out a creepy long face that makes a split-second appearance. Most in the thread comes to a consensus that this happenstance is very creepy and goosebump-inducing. Could it be a haunting, or something worse? Whatever it might be, it's certainly mysterious. Alyssa the Explorer rents a cabin in the woods, one that apparently has an extra guest inside.
This place is so cool, isn't it? Yeah. What the somebody in there with you?
Something scary passes by, a ghost in the window behind her, or perhaps some kind of hunched over figure in robes. I really hope this is computer effects, because if not, she needs to climb out that window fast. A video taken from an undisclosed neighborhood in East Texas captures on camera some scary noises from the woods at night. Scary noises that certainly have to be hungry wolves laying territorial claim.
Stay here. Down by the wire.
So if those were wolves, tell me what this next scary noise is, or more importantly, why it's coming straight towards him. People in the comments are saying that this sounds like a half-wolf, half-human creature. The uploader has lived here for a long time, and the scary voice in the woods is enough to send him running back inside, because he's never heard anything like it before, although he probably should have never gone outside to begin with if you ask me. According to one comment, there's been lots of reports of these scary noises in East Texas for years now, without a proper explanation. If you live here, then let me know if you've heard the unexplained screams and what you think they are. A young boy is watching television by himself and starts making a video for fun. After a while, he needs to do something in another room, so he puts the phone down for just a minute and accidentally records this creeper at his window. Someone peeks through the window multiple times over the course of a minute. I think those might be metal bars on the windows. So maybe this area has been dealing with break-ins, in which case there was about to be another. Then again, this strange floating orb appears as soon as the figure disappears, so maybe this is some kind of paranormal intruder instead. A dark alley gets even creepier when a mysterious figure peeks in from nowhere. At 6 seconds, it straightens up and briefly assumes a human form before losing its shape and abruptly flying away. A ghost sighting has been caught on tape if this security video is to be believed. If not, then it looks like an insect landed on the lens to create this effect and then flew away. This list is probably making you feel you're as unsafe inside your home as you are outside of it. This entry is no exception. Posted by Borgburger, this video captures a man who is trying to film inside his neighbor's home. Apparently, the neighbor had been filming inside their home for weeks. The homeowner's girlfriend said that the man often approached her when she was collecting post, and she felt he was creepy. He once offered that if there was anything he could do for her, just let him know. The video shows the man in his own home entering a room across from theirs. According to the video, he picks up his camera which had been charging, positions himself on the floor out of sight, then starts recording from a corner of the window. You can actually see the red light from his video camera appear in the darkness. He peers over the windowsill to see that no one sees him. Then he resumes recording. He is again seen more clearly, standing up to look out the window. Then he ducks back down to resume his peeping position. The man filming or photographing goes on for a solid 2 minutes, and probably longer, because this clip seems to have been cut before the man finishes. The clip also shows the man being taken to the station by police. The homeowner said his girlfriend felt incredibly upset as her privacy had been violated. Who wouldn't? Considering her intuition about this man, this just goes to show that you should always trust your gut. A search of official reports of this invasion of privacy could not be found, so it's unclear whether or not this situation ended in charges being pressed against the culprit. Whatever the case, this one will make you pull your shutters closed and lock them tight. This woman looks like she's stretching at first, but soon you realize that something's off. Posted to TikTok by Delsry Octave, the woman is bracing herself against a door frame. It seems like she's stretching her legs. Then, while chanting, she tries to enter the room. One leg drags uselessly behind her. As she moves forward, she retrieves a few items before the outstretched leg is dragged from beneath her. She is dragged down completely from the room. What's happening here? Is she possessed? Most in the comments think so. What do you think is going on here? While walking down an empty street at night, this man encountered not one but 3 witches. Posted to the very spooky video subreddit by Enrique Glue, he hears them before he sees them. The witches are making these horror movie noises that are creepy in and of themselves. As he walks, he spies this figure off to his right. He then makes a run for it, but their scary wails follow him. Next, he spies this figure to the left. He continues running as the screaming gets crazier. And lastly, another figure in white coming from this alleyway to the right. Many in the comments think the noise sounds like cats or an upset husky. Others say this is obviously the call for the witch meeting. What do you think is happening here? I can't imagine it's anything good. Ghost hunter Simply Sarah has a profoundly paranormal experience while exploring a haunted house in India. He sets a wind-up toy on the ledge of a window as a way for a ghost to communicate its presence. They are kind of goofing around when suddenly things get very serious and very creepy. They think laughter is coming from the window, but then they hear more scary stuff from above. They run into the room with the wind-up toy, only to hear more noises following close behind. Running footsteps sends them rushing out of the house, and as they flee, the wind-up toy moves by itself. He holds it up to the camera to make sure the paranormal evidence is caught on tape. He has one hand on the camera and one hand holding the toy. There's no tie for him to have wound it up. And the wind-up toy somehow continues to move on its own as they run into the forest away from the abandoned haunted house that has scared them so terribly bad. Have you ever dreamt that you found someone in your bed, but when you pulled the covers away, there was no one there? Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by BobbyGO1, the uploader writes, "She plays this off as a joke, but I find it quite weird. The quite weird joke was posted to TikTok originally by TJY. In the video, she says she just came into her room, and it literally looks like there's someone lying in her bed. She keeps saying ew as she approaches the thing, not knowing if indeed there is someone underneath. As she steps closer,
Ew! No! Ew! Ew! Oh my god, is this someone there? No.
the hair stands up on the back of your neck. You prepare yourself to have something or someone jump out at you, but when she lifts the blanket, nothing is there. A wave of relief washes over you, and probably her too. Watching it again, it's very strange how a body appears to be lying under the blanket, and when she yanks it from her bed, it doesn't look thick enough to bunch up like that. Redditor The Classic Drew admits in the comments, "If I saw that in real life, I would be so scared." Agreed. I probably wouldn't work up the nerve to approach it. A large, lonesome mansion seems like the perfect place for a channel called Abandoned World Explorer to do its thing, but they seem to miss the questionable red stain seen here at the 8-minute and 11-second mark as they tentatively test the floor to make sure they don't fall through. Most of the house looks run down, but they come across a creepy entrance that you will have to crouch down to get into. The passageway goes on for 3 full minutes until they find an even more foreboding staircase descending deeper. It looks like the steps could break away or something could reach out from below. The very bottom floor feels extremely off and wrong. He's poking around when something grabs his attention from behind.
Hello?
This odd area of the house personally gives me the feeling that someone was kept here away from the rest of the family, though I don't know why. He understandably leaves before he gets a chance to investigate what was possibly down there with him. Most people have home surveillance cameras installed for a security measure, just in case somebody attempts to break into their house late at night or an unwanted visitor shows up. But Helen Brookshaw's home surveillance camera captured something much more terrifying than a burglar. It captured an unwanted visitor, but not the kind you'd think or hope for. Focus your attention on the upper left side here. So let's count. 1, 2, 3 ghostly figures here. Not just one, not just two, but 3 in total. And they just seem to be moving in unison, sort of just back and forth in this circle here. And to add to this, it also looks like this happens at a graveyard because these appear to be tombstones. The people who own this surveillance system must live beside a graveyard. And that makes sense because the title of this video is Ghost on My CCTV in Graveyard Next Door. So the fact that not only did they capture 3 paranormal presences on camera, but the fact that this also happens at a graveyard, I think just adds to how bizarre and creepy of a situation this is. I can't even begin to imagine how creepy it would be to have your home so close to a nearby cemetery or graveyard, but that seems to be the case for Helen. What gives this video even more credibility is exactly that. The footage is filmed in a graveyard, which is obviously going to be populated with ghosts and paranormal entities, and in this particular video, it seems like there are at least 3 or maybe 4 of them moving around in a strange, almost glitchy manner. Who knows? Maybe these are the spirits of passed away people going to pay their other family members a visit. A YouTuber named Joe Shoemaker is exploring an abandoned road on Elm Street in Ohio. At the end of this overgrown dirt road is supposed to be a notorious house with a long and haunted history. The road itself is ominously closed, and they have to break the rules just to get there. After driving for a while, their headlights barely manage to illuminate the dark and collapsing exterior of a house that looks more like a creepy old shack rather than a place where any normal person would actually ever live. The front porch is an unpassable pile of broken boards and sharp wooden splinters, so John has to walk around the perimeter to find another way inside. The back entrance is a scratched up wooden door. John isn't even sure if someone still lives here or not, but he turns the rusted knob and stands in the door. The inside is barren and lacks insulation. A long ventilation duct runs completely exposed across the length of the wall. Pipes hang on strings for no reason. He hesitates for a moment and takes a single uneasy step inside. Nothing happens, so he takes another step and makes the mistake of letting down his guard.
That's over here.
Just when he feels safe, some sort of blue humanoid figure comes from the bottom of the screen and jumps him. I mean, this could just be one of his friends, but here's the thing. When you look closely at the creature that pops out in front of him, you'll see it only has a single misshapen eye. These Russian nightclub partiers look normal enough, but check out what happens to some of their eyes during a power outage.
Guys, check it out. Look at that.
Almost everyone else's eyes are not visible except for a select few. Even if these were contact lenses or something like that, there's absolutely no light to reflect. Until you can give me a scientific explanation as to why someone's eyes would glow in the dark with the lights out, I would have to say this video is definitely not normal, to say the least. Odd lights hang around shortly after. Gavin Blackshire leaves his property, and he is certain they're supernatural. The lights move over one car and back again. Never breaking their vertical formation. Someone in the comments says that it's just a spiderweb with rain droplets up close. I believe this explanation, but at the same time it's really weird how nothing appears until the moment he leaves. Dan Sedrin is a paranormal investigator who calls this next video one of the scariest places he's ever explored. Just thinking back on the place makes his eyes go wide with fear.
We decided to hit Blue Ghost Tunnel. It's one of the most haunted places in all of Southern Ontario, and it definitely lived up to the hype.
He and his two friends Nicole and Jenna appear calm and relaxed when he first starts exploring the Blue Ghost Tunnel in Ontario, Canada.
It was tough to get here. Had to go through the woods, but we're gonna keep exploring.
But halfway through exploring the tunnel, he claims to see some kind of paranormal activity.
No, look at the blue mist.
Nicole and Jenna are reluctant to go any further as some kind of mist wraps around Dan and moves ahead of him.
It's getting really far down the hole.
There?
Yeah. I just want to touch the beam.
And now down.
Okay, hold up.
He bravely takes a few steps forward, and knowing his friends are already scared, challenges them to turn off their flashlights for 10 seconds.
Turn off your lights. Just turn off your lights. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Okay.
Scary voices seem to be whispering a message at them from the darkness, and they get out of the tunnel fast. It's scary enough to make one of them nearly lose their mind.
What did you guys hear?
It was like a... yeah, but it was like a person. Like an old person. Like a growl. Like not a growl, but like look at my hand.
Oh, you're shaking?
Yeah.
You really? Okay.
Let's go. Let's...
Okay, alright, let's go.
That kind of fear is impossible to fake, so while this may or may not be a real ghost, we can at least agree that they were genuinely afraid. This short clip captured an eerie figure in an office building at night, published by Emily Durkin in January of 2019. The lights are on in the second floor of this office building, and they're just bright enough to reveal this creepy silhouette. While the YouTuber thinks it's a ghost, the phantom is certainly a small one then. It does look like the silhouette of a human figure, but it stands very still and doesn't move from the frame of the window pane. Do you think this is a ghost? If not, what else might it be? And what the heck are they doing in this office building at night? This one left me with more questions than answers.
Something in the woods is about to blow this cop's mind and his eardrums. He walks back with wide eyes and puts his flashlight away, completely done with the situation until backup arrives, but backup doesn't seem to do much better. I think this could be a recording because the scream sounds exactly the same both times. So maybe somebody put a really good speaker system in the woods, or maybe that's just what I'm choosing to believe, because I don't want to accept that this is real. A YouTuber named Lou Rock is live streaming from a supposedly haunted location, known only as the Yellow House. He and his friend are cautiously poking around the abandoned building when a faint noise sends them running directly into a large room to investigate. The room is bare except for an inordinate number of gnarled clothes hangers in the closet, which begin twisting in unison, almost as if in acknowledgement of their presence.
There's not a window open in here. Wow.
This is on live stream, so you can see for yourself at no point did they touch the hangers. I think the hangers really are being moved by an unseen force based on what I'm about to show you next. As you can see from this video, there is no wind moving the blinds or curtains at all, so it couldn't have been a draft moving the hangers. They continue to find more weird miscellaneous objects scattered around the house, including a rope tied to a ripped kid's shoe.
It looks like somebody was hung up by their feet.
Giant holes have been punched into the wall of this room, either from destructive teens or from the previous house owner during an aggressive fit of rage. Just as they are sensing something deeply wrong with the kitchen, something brings them back into the room with blown out walls.
Yeah, me too.
What's that?
They are genuinely creeped out by now and don't make it much further before the sound returns again.
Alright, we're out of here.
At this point, Lou Rock wisely decides to leave before he becomes the Yellow House's next permanent resident. Sometimes you can just sense evil in places, sometimes in your very own home. Posted in the very spooky video subreddit by Big Daddy Marco, the Redditor writes that he is quarantined in a haunted house. Originally published to YouTube by Donnie Drunkard, he writes, "Since being in quarantine, the paranormal and haunted activity has manifested in poltergeist activity on an almost daily basis. I believe the entity is demonic in nature." Terry explains that this is an update and recap of footage caught on his live stream. He also says that he thinks there's more than one spirit in his home. Using a paranormal tool that captures movement, the recap shows that something is indeed present in the hallway, and its presence is made known on more than one occasion. The kinetic image appears. In the last clip, he tells the thing to leave, and after a moment it does as he commands.
Trespass against us. I'm shaking so bad right now, man.
It disappears from the monitor. Some in the comments suggest that Terry get a demonologist into his home to take this thing on. What would you do if you sensed, heard, and saw a demonic spirit in your home? Would you stay or would you go? Everyone who owns a dog knows that they can sense things we humans don't. Posted by Redditor ChewyBone02, he writes, "I think my dog had a crisis." And he isn't wrong. The video shows two dogs standing on a day sofa, looking out the window. The bigger one really starts to panic, its legs pushing the sofa so far from the window that he's stretched pretty impressively until he absolutely can't stretch anymore and pops down to the floor. Meanwhile, a number of orbs appear throughout the clip, drifting across the room. Is something outside spooking these dogs? Or is it something paranormal inside? After all, those orbs certainly point towards the latter. If only these dogs could talk and let us know what the answer truly is.
When a scary video isn't self-explanatory, it's time to break out some armchair detective work. But even if you're Sherlock or Enola Holmes, you'll have a tough time connecting the dots of this video. Published to YouTube in March of 2012, Ghosts Are Real 66 writes, "Been taking video of local cemeteries for a while and examining them from frame to frame. Found the image of what looks like a ghost of a young boy from around the early 1900s by the way he is dressed. The video was taken at Kinder Cemetery, established in 1902. While scanning some tombstones at a distance, a distinct flash is caught on camera. While zooming in, you can make out a figure, although you can't really distinguish its dress. YouTuber mainly says that he's wearing suspenders and a white shirt, but that's up for interpretation. Some think it's a reflection in a car window, others are sure it's the paranormal, and I'm leaning towards the latter." When ghosts just won't leave you alone, what more can you do but investigate? Published to YouTube by Ghosts of Carmel, Maine. In December of 2017, this 4-part paranormal series has it all. In the first video, the homeowner explains that the ghosts in his home just won't leave him be. He welcomes the good ghosts to stay, but the activity has skyrocketed.
Not the one that's saying it. Hello? Is anybody in here?
He says they're constantly saying his name. In the first video, while running the spirit box, the spirit tells him, "It's me." When he asks who's in here, the spirit says, "Just you, Kent." The spirit also tells him, "It's my house, I need help. Rachel's in trouble." All throughout the clip, he hears other EVPs and disembodied voices, even without using the spirit box. In parts 2, 3, and 4, as the investigation continues, he and his wife regularly hear disembodied voices throughout the home. Often the voice cusses, tells Kent to get out of there, asks for help, or tells him to be careful. When he's in the room with what he calls the witch's window, the spirit is even more vocal. It says, "We're not done. They're all weak." Kent also sees faces in the porch window, which he believes are spirits. After listening to all this, it's not a stretch to think that something bad happened in this house. And could that be what is causing the paranormal events that are happening in this house? These ghost investigators have some paranormal evidence from a haunted house on video that I'm trying to decide is real or fake. They claim these lights are not coming from traffic, which I believe, but it looks awfully similar to the high-powered flashlights they were using earlier in the day. Does the beam look the same to you? Next, they claim to have picked up this sharp whisper, but I think it might be a camera strap sliding over the mic. Do you hear it? If so, what do you think? Let There Be Light, posted to the Ghost Video subreddit by Zombie Foxes, the Redditor explains, the security guard quit after seeing the CCTV of an orb walking through a car park and turning on lights in the storage room. The lights can only be turned on with a sensor when you walk 4 to 5 steps in the bike store, which also requires a fob to access it. The video shows the car park in question. For a while, there's nothing to see here, but then the tiny white speck or orb floats slowly across the scene from the bottom right of the screen to the door. Just as it arrives there, the light beyond flicks on. Coincidence? Or is there just something here that we cannot see? If it's true that the lights are only triggered when a person enters, then who or what's inside? No wonder the security guard didn't want to stick around. When you happen upon a cave carved into a mountainside, you might want to think twice before entering. Published to YouTube by the Highway 9 in September of 2017, this video serves as a warning to never ever go caving alone. The footage takes you through a deep and dark rock-hewn cave. Along the way, bats are seen hanging from the ceiling, and a long black centipede-like insect is climbing the walls. But the creepiest part is yet to come. As the YouTuber rounds a corner, he senses something deeper in the tunnel. He presses on, peering into the darkness, and seems to see a figure beyond. Highway writes, I'm not sure what I saw, but it scared the wits out of me. Needless to say, he fled the scene as anyone would. YouTuber LeeStat444 writes in the comments, this is what happens when you enter a cave full of bats, dusts, and insects. You find Batman. Whether this unfortunate explorer found that or something much more nefarious is anybody's guess, but I'm gonna err on the side of the second choice. A YouTuber named Daniel Ott performs a summoning ritual that quickly comes to a close after he begins to feel weird. In doing so, he accidentally records a strange moving light while describing how bad he feels.
I don't know, my body, it just doesn't feel right now. I've just been hearing things.
It might be trails of light left by the paranormal, or it could just be light reflecting off the chandeliers as he crosses the dining room. But still, as soon as he walks into the next room, this fleeting shadow appears on the wall. It could belong to him, but the angles don't quite match up.
Alright guys, that's gonna be the end of the video. I'm not sure if I'm probably gonna make another one of these.
One of these experiences could be easily explained away, but having both of them happen back to back is almost too much of a coincidence for me to believe, especially after a summoning ritual. Two friends are creeping around a forest in Granada, Spain when they stumble upon something they were never meant to see. The humanoid is likely hunched over its prey as the two approach. They accidentally make a noise and the humanoid's keen ears detect them instantly. It looks up from his meal, ready to attack. You can see that this creature is thin and bony. It looks skinny and sunken in, fast, with a high metabolism. Its reaction time seems way too quick for any ordinary person. This video, titled Proof They Do Exist, Ghosts Swinging on Lights, was taken at a body repair shop at an undisclosed location. There are only two fans, both off. One is even pointed at the ground, yet this light is going crazy. It's even weirder when you see that both the next light over and the one furthest away are hanging still as can be. Here's another video of the shop taken on a different day. Watch for anything weird and tell me what you find, because I see nothing to cause this. There are no vents in the ceiling, so what could this be? This dashcam video originates from somewhere in Russia. A large truck swerves out of the way of something invisible, narrowly missing oncoming traffic in the process. Then a pedestrian suddenly appears from behind the truck and calmly walks away like nothing happened. The uploader of this video is sure that this is a ghost, and assuming this video is not CGI, I would have to agree. Slow the video down and you can clearly see how nothing is in the truck's path at first, and then the person instantly appears only after the truck has passed. It's almost as if the truck has passed straight through them. A ghost hunting team led by paranormal investigator Lavina goes exploring a haunted chapel in Dixon, Oklahoma, or they try to at least. Getting into the haunted place is not as easy as it would seem.
What the?
She went to open that door and it come back on her.
At 42 seconds, one of the investigators opens the door a crack and it slams back with an unreasonable amount of force. Something from the other side, something paranormal perhaps, does not want them to go any further. They take the hint and don't stay for much longer, but apparently something has no problem opening up their door and coming with them for the ride home, as evidenced by this paranormal activity caught on their ghost meter equipment.
Is there a speaker following us?
Oh my.
Their paranormal equipment flips out when she gets stern with the supernatural.
You need to leave now.
Just said no.
Lavina must have asked too many questions, because soon she goes into a trance-like state and begins to nod even though she was very active and alert moments ago. She stares at them with an expression they do not like or recognize. As they wrestle the ghost meter out of her hands, her eyes are not how they've ever seen before.
Lavina. Give me that.
We gotta go. Look, we need to go.
Give me that.
We get out of here.
Give me that thing.
Even she does not recognize herself. Tell me if you think they're acting or not.
You see it? Oh my eyes are like glowing.
Yeah. Like a bloodshot
I am more skeptical, except faking this part doesn't explain the door slamming shut by itself, or the ghost meter responding to their specific questions in real time. With that in mind, I think this paranormal investigation might be real. The evidence was probably not worth it in the long run, considered they may have inadvertently forged a spiritual attachment to something beyond the grave. In a dark tunnel, no one can hear you scream, except for maybe the odd urban explorer wandering through that tunnel. Cringy Parkour published this footage in May of 2017 writing, "I heard like screeching or something in the tunnel and I want to go check it out. At first I thought it was like a pig or something. But what I record on the camera obviously was not a pig." The clip shows this YouTuber marching quickly through the dark tunnel ahead. There's water at the base of the tunnel, random graffiti on the walls, and it seems like it should be empty. What is this sound then? It doesn't sound like a scream. What if that figure you sometimes see out of the corner of your eye is really there? Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Malachi James. The clip shows the pregnant woman's blanketed belly, and in the background a crying kitten. Across the screen are the words, "My heart is actually breaking." But it's at the very end of the clip that your heart doesn't break but starts beating rapidly. Redditor Quality Spooky Me sums up, "I didn't notice the head popping up at the end of the video the first time I watched this. What the heck is that?" The Redditor says her sister didn't even notice the shadow creeping up until she watched the clip back. The Redditor says that her sister is fine, nothing bad happened to her, and no further weirdness occurred in her last week at this house. She did mention, however, that she felt heaviness there, like someone or something was stalking her. Another Redditor, Link Nadeserico, also points out the glowing pinpricks in the darkened doorway at the beginning of the clip, like eyes in the darkness. Well, some call fake on this video due to the abrupt ending. As many note, this was a Snapchat, which may be the reason for the seemingly premature cut. Others think it's a ghost of the former pet, which the Redditor has noted was a cat with black fur. Sounds suspiciously superstitious. If you encounter a child spirit, be wary. Posted to Facebook by the most haunted places in Pakistan in August of 2019. This video is actually based in Thailand and surrounds the mythological spirit of Gongoi. The dark-haired sprite is said to be humanoid and child-sized. She hops around on one leg and screams out Gongoi, which is the source of her name. This video purportedly shows that creature at the edge of a Thai field in the darkness of night. You at first see the figure's dark hair as it's still and hunched over near the grass, but then it appears to become alert to the presence of others nearby as it stands up and starts hopping away on its single leg. If you're watching this video after 10 p.m., your nightmares will probably be populated by strange Dali-esque creatures like these. Hopefully they're not running towards you. Hannah Forcier suspects something horrifying is in her attic after numerous strange events leave her afraid. She once took a creepy photograph through a crack in her attic and saw this eerie figure looking back at her. Its pale brow barely visible. She's not sure if she's seeing things or not, but I can tell her that if this isn't a Photoshop, then I definitely see the mysterious figure too. Ever since then, she's been trying to get a grip on this scary, unsolved mystery. She calls maintenance to inspect the attic for any signs of an intruder.
Would it be safe for a person to walk up there?
Oh, no.
No.
His reaction is not as scared as hers, and he says there's not much of a chance of anybody going up there, but judging from the scary knocking sounds that come from that area, I'd say he appears to be wrong. The unsolved mystery gets even scarier from there. Later, when they go upstairs to check, they find an empty can at the entrance of the attic. I mean, it is within arm's reach, so they totally could have planted that there themselves and then had a scared reaction. If not, then apparently somebody's been doing a little sipping while snooping. With that in mind, does it sound like the maintenance man is a little shady when she asked if anyone's been up there?
Would it be safe for a person to walk up there?
Oh, no.
Nevertheless, let's hope they find whoever's been up there. A YouTuber named Alien6467 and a friend are heading down a long stretch of country road in Southwood, New York, when an abandoned White House on the side of the road catches their attention. Something feels odd about this house, so they decide to get out and start exploring. The first thing the two of them notice is a room with #vengeance scrawled across the wall in big green letters. Under this word are dozens of bags that inexplainably contain only a single coin. After a bit of searching, they find a loose floor panel nearby and start pulling out more Ziploc bags containing single coins. The strange feeling gets even stronger after this discovery and they decide to leave. When filming the house for one last time, they see that they are no longer alone, nor were they ever to begin with. A mysterious black silhouette watches them from above without sound, but I guess it could just be a prank. I mean, they were just inside of that room. So maybe Alien6467 went up there again and pretended to be a ghost for the final shot. Then again, it could even have been somebody who was squatting in the house. The coins might have been a calling card, each one representing a previous victim. A man is videotaping an abandoned home from above when he catches what could be something paranormal as it dashes away. A misty black cloud snakes along the wall and trails off into the abandoned house, veering out of sight. The cameraman zooms in for a better look but finds nothing. I think this appears to be CGI, but the way the cameraman behaves makes me think that it could be real. He stays focused on the spot for a little bit, then draws back and studies the entire area for more activity. He doesn't immediately stop recording like most videos. Strange and mysterious sounds are coming from a hole in the ground that sounds like a hidden entrance to another world. These scary noises sound like some kind of evil ocean and makes me wonder if water is nearby. With that said, I did notice that these strange noises were caught on camera during a windy day. So I'm hoping this is actually just wind rushing through some kind of construction tunnel for a pipe or something, and not a scary hissing creature. Three friends are exploring an abandoned house and feel like it could be haunted because of how creepy it feels. They know there's a ghost in the hallway and they try to talk to it.
If somebody's in here, say or do something.
When nothing happens, they realize the house isn't haunted after all and start laughing at how they thought there was a ghost nearby, and that's when they get a real scare.
He scared you? Y'all shit, y'all hear this.
As they run from the ghost in the hallway, one of them starts laughing and says, "You did that," to his friend. But his friend, the oldest of the group and bravest of all, sounds scared pale when he says, "No, I swear." We don't necessarily see anything, but there's no faking that level of fear, and so I believe this scary loud noise was caused by whatever paranormal presence they felt the need to summon and interact with. Ghost hunting expert Stephen Lancaster leads a paranormal investigation in an attic that's believed to be haunted. Voices and footsteps are said to be heard ever since a previous owner lost their life up here. After setting up paranormal surveillance equipment, Stephen waits for a while and hears scary noises. I definitely heard something in the corner just a few feet away from Steven. Here's what he has to say. I think he's telling the truth, but let me know if you detect any giveaways in his voice.
Somebody was walking around. Somebody whispered something to me.
A man in Indonesia goes exploring the most haunted places of his home country to unlock supernatural myths of a different official nature, hence the channel's name. Out here, the ghost world has formed communities deep in the rainforest. He knows this place well and senses one near. Standing before him is an eerie apparition that gives me anxiety, like something has gone wrong. The paranormal exploration does not end with him running away. He has become strangely at ease around them, less terrified over time, or maybe okay with them all along. After a little more exploring, our adventurer finds a second spirit and does not come as near. He might be afraid, but I think he's simply respecting their space. I did some research and this creepy video looks like a possibly real ghost sighting of a Pocong spirit, seen mostly in Indonesia and Malaysia. It's said that the spirit's appearance under the shroud depends on the current state of their physical body. In other words, if he were to look underneath, he would see how rotten they were, but he dares not do such a thing. These are his ancestors, and he might have wanted to show us that there are real ghost videos on the internet if you know where to look, and that a ghost haunting the woods doesn't automatically mean it's one of the scariest places in the world. It's a really good point, but this scary video's got me freaked out nonetheless. This strange CCTV video captures a bizarre event that's worth taking a second look at. When played at normal speed, you'll see a blurry object show up for a brief moment and then disappear just as fast. Slow down the video and you'll see that this object is actually traveling at an impossibly fast rate of speed. It looks vaguely human and the CCTV is able to correctly identify a head, torso, and legs, as indicated by the small purple quadrants. Maybe this is a camera malfunction, or maybe this is a rare sighting of a creature that should not exist. This video comes from a creepy YouTube channel ominously called I Know Where She Is, whatever that's supposed to mean. Anyway, whoever's filming seems to be at some old abandoned house that's covered in years worth of trash. A loud generator blocks out all sound. They turn around as if startled and shine their flashlight on the doorway, but they don't see anything. Neither did I the first time. Look again though, and you'll see the fleeing shadow of someone retreating from the doorway. Overall, it's hard to tell if this was a phantom figure, or just the angle of the flashlight playing tricks across the wall. Okay, think of this scary video as a what would you do type situation. A woman named Letitia Patterson is walking back to her car when a strange man who is acting beyond creepy in my opinion begins to follow her. She lets him know that he's caught on camera, and the video gets more outrageous from there.
Hold on, I'm about to record you because if something happened to me, they gonna have you on camera.
That's right.
Somebody come get their family member.
That's right.
Following me.
I think capturing his weird behavior on tape is the right move, but showing him where she parked is not the safest decision. She could have walked away to get help, but I guess she felt like she was going to take control of the scary moment, and so she overcomes her fears and confronts the stranger, getting more bizarre video on camera for us to analyze.
Yep, bye. You're not getting in my car.
The strange man attempts to get her to laugh it off, playing off his aggression as harmless flirting, but he is not respecting her boundaries, which to me is beyond creepy, and a major warning sign that she should get away fast. He follows around her car for a bit, and then he's standing by her door, when the creepy encounter takes another bizarre turn.
I don't even know you.
Hey, delete that camera. I'll grab that phone from you. Break.
Look.
Take down camera.
Well, can you get away from my car?
Yeah, but
Delete that recording.
I'll delete it as soon as I see you start walking that way.
But the mysterious man walks towards her instead, closer than ever as you can see at 1 minute and 27 seconds, and she realizes by now that he isn't going away, and that this scary moment could escalate if she doesn't get help.
Hey, y'all call 911. This guy just followed me around the store.
I think asking a stranger to call 911 was the right decision, because he could have taken the phone out of her hands if she stopped recording him. The camera is a good deterrent, and also she needs to continue to record evidence. Police investigators haven't found him yet as far as I know, but check this part out. I think he says his name here at 7 seconds. She's talking at the same time, but tell me if you can understand what he says.
They gonna have you on camera. Somebody come get their family member.
At least one other woman claims to have had a similar creepy experience with a scary stranger, so the evidence seems to suggest that he could be terrifying people just for fun. Freaky, right? This YouTuber is exploring the Tulacker Abbey in Wales when he notices a strange animal face in the stone. It's hard to see at first, but you can make out the face of a pig here. This prompts him and his group to examine the area more closely. Eventually discovering a series of even more startling finds, they soon realize that this is not a natural rock formation, but rather some kind of ritualistic stone altar from ancient times past. The smooth surface was probably used for some sort of human and animal offerings.
Proper shakes on it, little church thing, that.
Finally, he zooms in on the clawed feet of the altar, and the video ends shortly thereafter. It's hard to say whether this is some kind of stage prop, or if they really did stumble across a hidden evil deep within an old cave. The friends seem more curious than scared, which is a strange reaction, but then again, if I was there, I probably wouldn't know what to think either. Overall, I'd say this video has a good chance of being real, but I would like to get some other opinions. The Paranormal Voyages team is staying overnight at America's scariest motel. Will they get any sleep? Let's find out. Outside, they come across children's graves.
Is that you out there making noise?
When they ask the spirits if they're there, the response is chilling.
Mm-hmm.
That was a kid. That was a kid.
And the follow-up is even creepier.
There's a witch.
Huh?
It said there's a witch.
My life battery is dying quick.
Yours?
Fully charged.
But just when you think it can't get worse,
Can the kid come forward and talk to us? Tell us your name. Don't be shy.
Where is the kid? You said that was a kid that I heard.
a little later, Celia feels something.
Touch me?
What?
What are you touching my hair for?
Touch your hair?
Yes.
No,
Yes, you did.
I didn't.
Yes, you touched the top of my head.
That was your better. That was your better.
You touched my head.
Back in their room, the haunting follows.
To see if you catch it sometimes.
Feels like they're pacing, kinda.
Yeah, he needs to tell things.
It sounds like it hasn't happened to us before. We've even slept in the room on the second floor, and we've heard walking on the roof.
When they finally get some sleep, a series of strange events happen. The water turning on and the bed sheet lifting has me convinced that this place is truly haunted. What do you think? Would you stay here? If you've ever wondered what La Llorona sounds like, elcacoy.tv has the answer for you. Luckily, she's not there in the shower.
And she sounds a lot nearer in the end, so she must be leaving. At least I hope that's the case for the person behind the camera. Is that a hula hoop? Posted to TikTok by Camilo Rodriguez. A dark ring looks like it's burnt into the sky above. The mysterious video was captured in Colombia on March 6, 2022. After searching for some explanation, I couldn't find any for this specific ring, but I have found that it's not unique. One appeared over Pakistan in 2020 and is thought to have been caused by a small combustion blast through a circular structure. Again, one in Britain in 2014. This was traced back to a fireworks test. And finally, over Chicago in 2012, this one traced to the rupture of an electrical transformer. So while this may look like an ominous vortex to misery, I guess it's actually an ominous vortex of mystery. This apartment has a rogue poltergeist on the loose, and Seeker of Ghosts has come to tame it. First, the poltergeist demands that you wash your hands. In fact, he's pretty adamant about it. He then takes another tack. And later shuts the investigator in. Bored, he switches the TV on. Then this happens.
Ah, какой.
After that, it's no holds barred. Later, as the investigator talks to the camera, the poltergeist becomes the director.
Я пока в таких догадках, что
I don't know about you, but I don't think the taming is working yet. These police were patrolling a graveyard at night, expecting to apprehend the living. Instead, they met the living dead. Published by Kitten City in December of 2021, a pair of officers are seen walking along a path in the middle of the graveyard, tombstones on either side of them. They then hear this horrifying howl. The male officer leaves his partner in the dust as they both hurry off. Did they just wake up a demon? Or is something horrible happening deep beyond the grave? Either way, I can't say I've seen police run away this quickly before. Ready for some peekaboo with a little more boo? Posted to the r/ghosts subreddit by Leo Creations. This Redditor's video was allegedly filmed at an abandoned house. The footage shows a man exiting his house at around 3 in the morning, according to a digital clock on the wall. Dogs are barking outside. He zooms in on a row of houses on the opposite end of a gated area. For a moment, everything is quiet, ordinary, until it isn't.
Entonces, a ver qué pasa. Se ve todo muy tranquilo, la verdad. No se ve nada anormal. Ah, mira, mira.
Se asomó alguien. Se está asomando alguien en la escuela.
A creepy dark figure peeks out from around the corner of a White House. You can see its head vividly, peeking out before pulling back. He does this twice like he's playing an evil game of peekaboo. What is this creature? And do you want to play? Could there be spirits all around us, just out of sight? Posted to the r/paranormal encounters subreddit. One Blueberry 336 asks, is this an orb? In the video, her puppy is sitting in his cage on high alert. He starts whining and lays down. Then he starts howling. Mid-howl, a light orb flies by, somehow seeming to alert the dog to its presence. The dog stops his howl and looks right at it. Some in the comments think the pup really does seem to be startled by the orb and think it could possibly be paranormal, but others think it's a puppy and a flying bug. What do you think it is? Remember, animals have a better sense of the paranormal than humans. This one is out of sight. Published by Grid Synergy in November of 2017, this scary security footage was filmed in a computer lab at night. A man is working across two computers when an alarm sounds, jarring him to turn around. Clearly confused about what this alarm is for, the man gets up to look. After the alarm doesn't repeat, the man sits back down at his desk, satisfied that it must be nothing, but then a loud bang is heard. And after a moment off screen, a lot more racket is heard, followed by the man clearly fleeing in fear. He couldn't get out of there fast enough. What drove him to flee? With the man now gone, a strange creak is heard, followed by another loud bang. If only we could see what was happening off screen. Be careful what you wish for. This video allows a 360 view of what's going on. Head back to when the bang is heard. A light turns on in a room next to a foosball table. When the man heads off screen, he is heading over to check out this room. He looks in but sees nothing, though he picks something up off the floor. Perhaps this is what caused the noise. When he heads out again, he switches off the light. That's when the racket happens. The door slams and a chair shoots back from a desk in front of him. The man flees the scene, the light turns on in the room again, and this figure's reflection is seen in the window. As I said, be careful what you wish for, because now you can't unsee it. Breaking into a vehicle under the cover of darkness is common. Doing it directly in front of the car's owner, not so much. Published by Doorbell News in October of 2021, this crazy thief must have been seriously desperate. A woman is sitting outside her home in Phoenix, Arizona, talking on her phone as a toddler toddles around, doing baby things. While chatting, she looks up from her phone to find a man breaking into her friend Bubba's vehicle right in front of the house.
Hey! Hey! What do you do? Bubba, is that...
The entire creepy event was captured on a Ring doorbell camera. You can vaguely see the man's white shirt as he approaches and then breaks into the vehicle. He didn't technically have to break anything as the car was open. The woman alerts her friend inside, who rushes out to see what's going on.
Can I pull you back? Hey!
The guard dog sets off a 12-bark alarm.
Thankfully, the man wasn't able to take off in the vehicle before the police were called. In the description, the woman notes that he was taken into police custody. Definitely one for the books in my opinion. You don't see this every day. Under the ancient city of Taif, Saudi Arabia, is a scary haunted cave tunnel that you don't ever want to go exploring by yourself. Famous ghost hunter Abdullah Al-Anbari has made a career out of fearlessly exploring such haunted places, but the question remains, will this haunted place scare him?
في شيء. مستخدم كشاف الراس.
So far, he's kept his cool among some scary things. Exploring the tunnel some more reveals that it's been walled off, and yet, just when the ghost hunter decides to turn around and go back, something paranormal beckons him to stay. The cave is suddenly filled with scary noises and a strange mist that wasn't there moments before. He waits for some more activity and finds nothing. Apparently, he is braver than the ghosts once more and leaves victorious. This video could be paranormal unless they somehow figured out a way to get on the other side of that wall to make the noises themselves, though I don't happen to see one. The adventurer Abdullah Al-Anbari is back, this time exploring an underground tank that's said to be the place of many experimental rituals. Something happens to his camera at 10 minutes and 10 seconds, immediately followed by this noise. And as the same thing happens again exactly 13 seconds later, which I think indicates a paranormal presence is near. The strongest evidence occurs when they recite this opening passage and get a terrifying response. Judging from the spirit's reaction, it sounds like the prayer recital causes its monumental agony. A YouTuber is suspicious about something to do with the king of rock and roll. Look what happens to his hand right here. Is it a motion blur? Or 3 extra long alien-like fingers growing outward like some people are saying it is? Okay, so that alone really isn't solid evidence, but what happens next is just bizarre. Watch his assistant's face as he's coming across Elvis's shoulder. The skin goes green and undergoes a facial metamorphosis in which the eyes become black and rectangular, the nose broad flat, and the mouth extra wide. I really hope this is just a camera glitch, but I've really never seen one like it before, so I can't explain how. Poncho is patrolling his campus as a security guard when he and his partner see some strange activity coming through the window. The lights are flashing on and off at the same time in every last room on the first floor. It looks like they are standing outside documenting the event instead of rushing straight in, and you know what, I don't blame them, because I would definitely wait for backup if I saw this too, or maybe I would try to find some non-haunted places to work at instead. A kid in Russia is crossing the hall when he comes across a goblin-like home intruder that seems only to appear when the lights are off. I don't think this is real because I don't know why he would be randomly filming from this angle unless it was for something planned out. Even though this is almost certainly fake, he still does the right thing by noping out of there backwards. Forget about grabbing the camera, it's not worth the extra steps. A suspicious-looking man is all eyes as he creeps up to a luxury hotel room in India. At 22 seconds, the intruder looks into the window and contemplates doing something terrible to whoever's inside.
His hand goes up to his mouth like he's uncertain. Maybe he is having a change of heart, but more realistically, he's probably noticing how many cameras there are in this hotel and finding someplace else. Even though he doesn't follow through, this is probably one of the creepiest looking disguises I've seen someone wear. I can only imagine how terrified hotel workers were when whoever was inside complained and they checked the cameras only to see floating eyes. Hopefully he never comes back. A man in New Zealand is stopped at a gas station when this orange light rips by overhead in a perfect arc. It was accompanied by a high-pitched sound that broke the audio on his camera and hurt his ears. I don't think that it's car headlights because it approaches from a weird angle, plus the way it moves is far from normal. This CCTV footage appears to be from a market. A woman and a man are looking at produce when a stranger stumbles into the frame, reaches out his arm, and does something pretty terrible that I can't show here. The two people are obviously furious with his actions and attempt to take justice into their own hands. The stranger's actions were very creepy, and I wonder if this video evidence will be used to press charges. Bill Ryan is the leader of Project Camelot, an underground organization tirelessly attempting to uncover secrets on everything, from alien life forms to time control. Since Project Camelot encourages members of top-secret government organizations to blow the whistle on the most sensitive of state secrets, you can only imagine how many people want Bill Ryan gone. That's what makes this interview so creepy. While Bill Ryan calmly explains the inner workings of Project Camelot, a shadowy figure silently leans into the camera shot multiple times.
That you can get kind of caught up in these questions forever and a day and never come out of that.
Some people believe that this is a shadow messenger warning others not to come forward with their secrets. Other people think that this is a sign of constant surveillance on Bill Ryan because of what he knows. I personally think it just might be the reflection of a cameraman's arm, but let me know what you think is going on with this strange background figure. The Odyssey Paranormal Society is a Minnesota-based group of ghost hunters who become close after a number of bizarre and scary shared experiences like this one in May of 2015. While conducting a paranormal investigation at a haunted house, a ghost hunter named Sean makes a request for any spirit to make their presence known.
Wherever you can do, wherever you can manifest your energy with. Jesus.
Two orbs float overhead, followed by a loud noise that makes Sean jump. The next month, they get more paranormal evidence that the house is haunted. This time in the basement, when a hideous ghost face appears on a night vision camera in the window at 2 a.m. There's also some kind of light anomaly at the very beginning of this video that could be an apparition. Light shouldn't be reflecting off of anything in a dark basement, so this is bizarre. And 5 years later, the Odyssey Paranormal Society continues to make ghost hunting videos that are beyond creepy. They are exploring the second floor of an abandoned home when they stop for a moment to try and communicate with the other side.
Could you make a noise? Like that was okay.
It doesn't sound like an animal, and it doesn't sound like passing traffic. This is the voice of a ghostly woman screaming her answer to their question from far away.
Just like lights. Some sort of paranormal activity.
This gym could be haunted according to Coach Megan, who is making a video of her backhand spring when she sees what she describes as a little blue light on the speaker, almost like a camera flash, except she is by herself, so nobody could have taken it. 2 seconds later, a floating white anomaly travels towards her in the mirror, and then mysteriously disappears, only to resurface 2 seconds afterwards as a strange white light streaking down from behind. After reviewing the evidence, I honestly can't tell if this scary moment is a camera glitch, edited, or truly paranormal, but since the video is pretty good quality, I think it's probably more likely real than not.
Anything that's gonna scare you, it's just like lights. Some sort of paranormal activity.
Larry Glow has a haunted home that keeps him on edge at all times. He records down the hallway because a ghost is down there. He's sure of it. I'm not sure what he is saying and need your help to fully understand.
Lo que está pasando. Sé que yo escuché algo por aquí. Esto está jodón, esta vaina aquí.
He hears a loud noise from behind as the ghost walks past and touches a light. The living room is where he experiences the most paranormal activity. So there's already a second camera all set up. Here is the same scary moment from a different angle. As you can see, he hears a bang, turns around, and that's when this stuffed animal gets possessed. Is someone pulling strings off camera, or are these objects moving on their own? The uploader of this video says that this sighting happened on the Barbados Islands sometime in 2017. A huge humanoid is stomping off in the horizon, its footsteps echoing throughout the tropical night scenery. The creature appears to have 4 long limbs and a gigantic bushy upper body that is completely covered in some kind of fur or else some kind of plant growth, possibly leaves or mold. It lets out a huge bellowing roar as it makes its way across the island. In the unlikely case this is not CGI, then what you are witnessing is definitely a modern day giant or some sort, though its true origins may never be fully understood. Willard is hiking Horseshoe Falls in Colorado when he decides he wants to try to climb a cliff. The path is steeper than it looks, and soon he has to put more of his weight on the rocks, which look kind of loose to begin with. Rushing waters are below him, and when he admits defeat and tries to climb back down, everything goes wrong. A large rock comes loose and thankfully rolls the opposite way. Instead of onto his head, he wedges himself between 2 rocks and says that if he lost his footing, he could have been taken underwater. Meanwhile, his friend looks back with hardly a care. Overall, I'm just glad he didn't break anything, or else it would have been a long and expensive airlift to the nearest hospital. YouTube team Amitav Paranormal Tech YT explore this abandoned place when they capture a spirit manifesting on camera. Upon entering, they hear a banging sound.
Thank you.
This is followed by a door closing. More racket is heard as the REM pod goes off. As they stand in the darkness, the banging continues. Not long after, a spirit manifests on this infrared camera. The cameraman leaves the cell, and when he tries to re-enter, he finds he's no longer welcome. In fact, no one is welcome.
Tá frio aqui, calma, gente, calma, menina. Galera, a gente viu o negócio arrastando ali, cara, vamos ver. Cara, eu vou ir aqui, meu.
When they do not leave, the spirit doesn't let up.
Calma, amigos, a gente só veio pra conversar.
It has one last scare for the crew, and this one sends them packing. I'll be honest, I'm not sure how they stuck around this long. This place is certainly haunted, and they're lucky to make it out alive. Is this a goblin? An extraterrestrial? Whatever it is, it's trending in the Brazilian YouTube community. Shared by YouTube channel EXTV, the video shows a gangly creature sitting dejectedly at the foot of stadium seating. It's hard to tell what this creature is, even more so after it looks up at us. Its glowing eyes and pointed ears do tell us one thing: it's not human. It moves to get up. And when it stands, you see just how gangly it is. Its long, thin limbs are barely able to lift its large, barrel-like body, but looks can be deceiving. On its feet, it turns out that it's quite nimble. That sound was terrifying. We can assume the cameraman lived to share this footage, but we can't assume he didn't pee his pants in the process. The footage looks real enough to be considered authentic. Even the creature's shadow seems to fall in accordance with all other shadows in frame, but this is, in fact, a production. I tracked down the original source, JJPD Producciones, which specializes in CGI. I'm happy to find that this creepy goblin doesn't exist in reality, at least I hope. Redditor ZZZ747 writes, "It happened again." As the Redditor explains it, they posted a video months ago noting that a neighbor's CCTV camera captured something strange, and in this post, we're seeing it for a second time. What do you think this white mist could be? Many in the comments think it's fog rolling through. Others suggest that the neighbor could be vaping. Still, others think it looks like the outline of a person or a ghost. What do you think it is? I'm not 100% sold that it's supernatural, but that doesn't mean it could be. Though judging by the Redditor's title, this isn't the first time this has happened. If this is captured again, maybe we'll be able to get more concrete answers. Werewolves lurk in this forest. Enter if you dare. YouTube team Fatos e Mysterios faced off with a wild half-man, half-dog in this scary video. First, they hear it.
Também escutei tipo bater de orelha mesmo, vi? Sei lá o que foi isso. Olha aí de novo, olha lá.
And soon, they spot it right before it gives chase. Its growl soon sends him running. And despite fleeing the werewolf, it's still stalking them in the darkness.
Liga logo tua moto, liga! Vai, liga.
Will they escape? They'd better hope so, or I think they'll soon be part of the wolf pack too. EVPs were captured through a live radio during a live stream by YouTube team Ghost Adventures of Cornwall, and these things are eerie.
See, who's not laughing? Who are you? I'm laughing again. Who are you?
First the word heaven is heard, then the laughter. A moment later it says the words proper demon.
Was that you? Proper demon? What?
But here's where it gets truly creepy.
The skin. The nails.
Skin and the nails? What?
Skin and nails? Does this demon of Cornwall want your skin and nails? I think it does, and it might be taking your soul with them. The horrific event that happened at University of Idaho has drawn national and international attention. Redditor 2201992 shared some Fox News footage of the investigation, including an interview with the victim's father. During the interview, something odd happens. Listen closely.
Holy, that's a scream.
It does sound like a scream to me too. Some in the comments say it happens 3 times on the full video posted on the Fox News website. Whether or not this can be explained, considering the interviewer is at the scene of the incident, this terrifying shriek made my hair stand on end.
Holy, that's a scream.
While entering a deep dark cave, these brave souls nearly left their skeletons behind. Good gravy, what is that? You can see the creature momentarily as they enter. But for some reason, this encounter doesn't send them running for the hills. And then, not long after, this happens. That hissing is somehow more terrifying than a deafening roar, and the figure's features are equally horrifying. The fact that they didn't leave on the first sighting of the creature makes me think this is fake, but as we only caught a glimpse on camera, maybe they just didn't see him in the darkness. If it is acted, then it's an incredible fake. This paranormal crew investigated the Clearwater Demon House in Reno, Nevada. And judging by this communication with the spirits, dark energy is here.
See these bones?
Break. Please. Oh, I.
Break, please. You said, look at these bones. And then it goes, break, please.
That seems like a clear message. The team later sees a figure on their Kinect device.
There too. Like just on the edge of the stairs. There they are.
Wait.
Oh.
There?
No, it was over there. It was right here by the stairs, and then it just appeared back over there.
But that's not all. They soon capture an even more ominous presence on camera. Watch the window as this crew member enters the house.
I thought I saw some kind of black shadow behind that window, but I didn't even realize until I reviewed the footage that I'd captured probably one of the best shadow figures I've ever seen.
Even more interesting, the camera from inside the room captures the opposite side of the window, and there's nothing there.
What was that?
Whoa.
I don't think that was a shadow. That was on the other side of that window.
They didn't fully comprehend seeing the shadow figure in the moment, but watching the footage back sent chills up their spine. I know it did mine. After seeing this, I don't think I would have entered that house ever again. This church is apparently haunted. YouTube team Signs and Signals return to an abandoned church that's haunted them since one of their first paranormal investigations. First, they head to the cemetery to recall where they saw this.
And yep, right over there.
Went straight to that bush.
It looks like an extra large bat, maybe a vampire mid-transformation. As they're checking around the bush, they hear something come from the church.
Well, people were saying it was going in the bush. We checked it plenty of times. Dale?
That was...
You know what that means.
100% in the church.
They approach and peer in through a window.
I swear.
Door. I heard the door.
Yeah, I swear to God, I just heard the door do something, like something knocked on the door.
Something is in there, but they have yet to see it. When they near the door, they find it open.
You better come on around from there. Come on. And...
Once inside, the creepy feeling escalates.
I already feel like I'm like being stared at everywhere I look. How long?
As long as it takes.
As Dale is talking about the last experience he had here, a light behind him flickers.
I started feeling all weird and like hot and everything, and started getting all mad and stuff.
But behind you, Dale. Behind you. Light. It's not the same one.
Is this real? It's not that light.
It's not the same one.
When they approach the spirit, it makes its presence known.
No knock a book over. Did you hear that?
I thought that was you.
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
They investigate further, then they capture this.
Oh my.
Dale.
Please tell me you got that.
I did.
You got that?
I did.
There's something in this church, and they don't want this paranormal team trespassing. Not at all.
Cool and pretty clear, and it's so...
Oh my... Dale,
see,
I told you. It's the piano. It's the piano, dude. Oh my...
In my opinion, it's time for them to leave this place, especially after they managed to photograph this. That terrifying shadow sends the coldest of chills down my spine. Without a doubt, this place appears haunted to me. YouTuber Han Kardashler confronts a spirit in this scary video. He and his team see something walking the road of this village in the darkness. They don't get near enough to catch it, but they see it again from the second story of a building.
Bismillah, azıcık büyüt kanka be. Heh. Dur bekle dur. La ilahe illallah Muhammeden Resulullah. La ilahe illallah. Ne yapıyor?
What it's doing in the darkness is anyone's guess. They soon see it again though, this time closer. It disappears from its post and reappears at the far side of the road.
Oğlum nereye kaç? Ya bismillah. 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 Oğlum şurada. Kadın çarptı. Aşağı atmış. Beyaz şey gitti. Oğlum. Abi yola bak. Ona bakıyor işte.
What is this being? Is it a spirit? Or something even more sinister? It seems like a spirit to me, but I'd be wary of its magic tricks. What would you do if you encountered a figure from your nightmares in the middle of a forest? YouTuber Adi Riono shares this insanely creepy video of just such an encounter. After racing away, the cameraman turns back to see if the figure follows, but he finds that it has disappeared. Where did it go? Is it about to pop up right behind him? I hope not, because this is the thing nightmares are made of. YouTuber Franco TV sets out in this haunted graveyard to hunt down the witch's tomb. As he searches for it, he arrives at an abandoned part of the mausoleum.
I heard something move over here. I'm now getting closer to more of the abandoned area here.
He notices cobweb-covered straw wrapped around the gates.
Look how old these things are. So much cobwebs on them.
I'm not sure if this is ritualistic or not, but it's somehow very creepy. From one deep crypt, Franco hears whispering.
Listen.
Listen.
Now you're whispering.
At another, he finds a bag of black candles abandoned outside of the gate, along with what looks like a voodoo doll, and some photographs with writing on them.
Inside the bag. These are the pictures. Either somebody wants something bad to happen to them, there's writing on it too.
Does someone want something bad to happen to these women? This stuff gets even creepier.
And each mannequin doll has a picture of someone's face strapped to the face of it.
As he continues to examine the creepy findings, he hears a voice.
I heard someone.
Is someone else visiting this graveyard in the middle of the night? It sure seems like it.
Right over there. Someone's whistling. Yeah, fuck that.
Later, when he captures footage of a tomb, we can see what looks like a full-body apparition.
Right in there.
As Franco continues to identify creepy ritualistic items, he hears a man singing.
And then up there is something else. I don't know what that is.
We hear a voice.
Someone's singing.
He arrives at the witch's tomb and immediately hears something.
There she is.
Blind.
He spots a face briefly in the dark doorway, but it retreats.
See, I could probably get some stock footage from it or something. What is that?
Did you see that?
Some stock footage from it or something. What was that?
Is the witch hiding from Franco? Or is this one of the cemetery's many dark magic victims? I have no doubt that this place is haunted by many damaged souls, and it seems to continue to be a frequented site of dark magic witches as well. Franco had better hope he didn't get any of their magic on him. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by ImpressiveMany4743, this Redditor wrote, "We are not alone." The Redditor says they filmed this on their way home. Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about.
Was out here today and seeing these stars formed up. I don't know what the hell they are. Look, a perfect triangle.
What?
And they're slowly disappearing.
Wait. I was thinking that these guys are tied up right how I think of it.
Are those two lights a part of a much larger aircraft? I don't know for sure, but I do know that if I saw this on my way home, I'd be nothing short of terrified. Things aren't always what they seem. YouTube channel Rootstown Paranormal shares this security footage captured at a gas station in Wadsworth, Ohio. Pay attention to the garbage cans. Every garbage can shifts to the right simultaneously, but how? If you watch closely, I think the video has been sped up toward the end. Keep your eye on the truck bed. The bottom right of the tarp seems to move unnaturally. This suggests to me that a strong wind may have moved all of the trash cans, but not as quickly as the video suggests. What do you think is going on here? Duendes invade homes and carry out mischief to scare those within. TikToker MacGyverBox shares this video of one of these very spirit creatures caught on camera. Is that really a duende? It honestly looks like a full-size human to me, only in miniature. Is this just a trick of the eyes based on perspective? I think it might be, but it could also be a duende searching for a home to torment.
Vea, muchachos, vea, los que no crean en los duendes, vea. Vean un duende, vea. Un duende, me acabo de aparecer acá en la Gran Colombiana. Ahí fue.
A neighbor's door camera captured what Redditor Ancient Conference 39 believes is a real ghost sighting. See for yourself. A semi-transparent figure drifts across the street. Prior to this capture, another neighbor said that a couple of weeks prior, they saw the ghost of a girl standing in front of a van. Redditors have theories as to who or what it could be. All jokes aside, many think this is just a case of a bad security camera with slow shutter speed or the usual suggestion, a bug, but coupled with the other strange events and sightings in the area, I'd be keen to believe too. Located in Philadelphia, Fort Mifflin is known for its role in the Revolutionary and Civil Wars, and considering this history, it's also said to be haunted. YouTuber Katrina Weidman and her team head there to investigate. Using a photon camera built by Zach, who's an electrical engineer, the team captures movement and sounds inside the fort. This occurred in the Powder magazine. The team says no one was near the place at the time this was captured. A little later, Zach is running a thermal camera outside where he captures this.
I just heard a scream. I don't think that was the girls. I don't know if this is recording audio, but I just heard a scream.
When the team is later all together again, they get a spark on the Tesla coil.
Can you touch that Tesla coil? Or the thing that's making some noise in the middle of the room?
Stark again.
Yeah, I heard that.
I don't know if I see it, but I hear it.
Was this where you stayed during solitary confinement?
To me, this seems like solid evidence to suggest that Fort Mifflin is indeed haunted, and it sounds to me like a former prisoner here continues to live out his afterlife in solitary confinement. Is this human morphing into the wall, or did he just disappear into the light? This Ring video shared by Mo Benjamin to the Chills Narrator subreddit shows what looks like a normal person passing in front of this house, but is he normal? The figure disappears from the top down, and then this happens. Watch the wall to the left. What was that mysterious light? In my humble opinion, I think this is a type of camera glitch where the human blends into the shades in the background, and as the dude enters the door off screen, this might explain the light appearing against the opposite wall. What do you think? Did I crack the case? This haunted house isn't anything less than terrifying. The Ouija brothers head inside to discover what lurks within. As they first enter, they hear a door bang.
What? So let's go and have a look. Did you hear that?
I did hear like a boom.
Like a bang of a door or something.
They continue on and stop short again when they hear voices.
Swish gun dog. Literally, I heard voices.
In another hallway, they hear a woman's voice.
Say. Yeah. That's like a woman's voice.
With the spirit box on, some confused expressions resound.
Am I dead?
Jesus.
Your phone
Anna
is the one.
Abused.
And while they're communicating with the spirit, they hear an unexplained thud.
What's that?
It's like a...
Then later, this low murmur is heard.
Jace.
What?
Jace.
What?
To me, that was the creepiest bit of evidence in this whole investigation. I'm convinced, with that murmur and the messages through the spirit box, that something horrible transpired in this place. Jump in the DeLorean and go back to this 90s home stuck in time. YouTuber Ranger Rick TV visits the abandoned place where a homeowner passed away, leaving everything behind. The calendar is left on the date she passed away.
And we have a calendar date, so this tells me that whoever last passed away in this house was on April 1992.
Behind the wall of one room lies a mystery, unsolved.
Makes me really curious about this wall right here. Let me light it up so you can see what I'm seeing. It looks like this was part of, well, this is the wall right here, but why do they have this little cutout right here? Something makes me think.
The main bedroom is left in disarray.
And then we walk into this room right here.
But the room where the homeowner passed away has been left untouched, and for good reason.
This is probably my favorite room in the whole house, for obvious reasons. Just because it's like the main room. I already told you the backstory on this place, and yep, this is where the lady passed away.
The poor woman likely passed away alone, and her body wasn't discovered for a long time. Such a sad story, and one I won't be able to forget for a long time coming.
Colorado's 19th century Glendale stagecoach station and inn has seen many a wary traveler pass on through, and now it seems some of their spirits lay their heads here to rest. YouTube team Aiden's Escapades investigates this historic haunted way stop. While using a spirit box, Aiden receives some strange messages. And this. Someone is watching and they need help. A while later, they plead again. Would you help these lost souls? I think it could all be a con, but I'd probably have to try. The horror film The Descent follows women cavers into the depths of a cave system where they are stalked by an unknown creature. YouTube team Rob with Scooby and Scooby head to the cabin where they filmed some of the scenes, and on his way there, something is watching him.
Don't know if you can see this. Eyes looking at us in the woods. Possibly foxes. You get the glare.
When he arrives at the cabin, it does look straight out of a horror movie.
Coming into full view there. That is an actual horror movie cabin location from the film, the 2005 film, The Descent.
But luckily, things aren't what they seem.
Pulled it up. I think originally this was a hunting lodge. Obviously, the filmmakers found the location, found it was perfect.
Or are they?
Meant film locations of the mountain area.
What was that strange mist?
Meant film locations of the mountain areas.
Maybe this place is haunted after all. Well, I think that was probably condensation from Rob speaking on this cold night. I feel like this place is too spooky and must be haunted. A man comes home to find a woman he's never seen before in his living room. She runs out the door and he checks his home security system. This is what she was caught doing: picking a lock and testing the door while holding out a purse so as to look more natural. Soon, other neighbors check their cameras and find evidence of her doing the same thing. Her wide eyes look really creepy, like she's not in control of herself and would do almost anything out of desperation. Definitely not someone you'd want in your house at random. The fact that she would return to the same street day after day fills them with dread, wondering if they'll be targeted next. As far as I was able to tell, police in Denver, Colorado have yet to identify this woman, so take a look at her face and let's see if we can provide them with any assistance.